set for our next set of awards. And this is an interesting one because this is the first edition of the TiE Binary Semantics Startup CFO Awards. These awards are powered by Binary Semantics, so we would like to thank them for their support. TiE Delhi-NCR and Binary Semantics Limited, this is, as I pointed out, the first edition of the Startup CFO Awards. They celebrate exceptional financial stewardship, strategic thinking, and innovation, all of this to boost and contribute to India's entrepreneurial ecosystem. Without wasting any more time, I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Srijan Choudhary, Growth and Strategy Leader, Binary Semantics, to deliver the welcome note and share more details about these awards. But before I do that, I would just like to tell the audience a little more about Srijan. He's extremely passionate about exploring and understanding diverse cultures, places, and ways of life. Loves to travel, thrives on varied experiences. He's taken his passion into strategic and growth role at Binary Semantics as he's combining this with his GTM and product market fit experience. Could we have Srijan on stage, please? Huge round of applause.
Yeah, hi everyone, I am Srijan Choudhary. So incidentally, I gained my interest in entrepreneurship with TiE itself, with their TiE, TiE Young Entrepreneur Program back in 2016. And right now I'm here extremely excited that TiE and Binary are collaborating today, and excited to introduce the background behind the first edition of Startup CFO Awards that have been brought together by Binary Semantics and TiE Delhi-NCR. So as we know, the founding teams are highly focused on product and services, go-to-market strategies, revenues, funding, and cash flows. Yet some of the foundational elements like financial reporting, compliances, and transparency, cost controls, and risk mitigation that ensure robust cash flows and investor interest to fund the startup takes a back seat. For India's startup ecosystem to continue to thrive, this gap needs to be bridged. And this is one of the major driving forces for TiE and Binary to create an awareness and have startups allocate the right kind of resources to bring out the financial prudence and discipline within their startups and in their day-to-day operations, and hence be able to be investor-friendly. We intend to appreciate and recognize such pioneers who are part of these founding or extended teams and are able to bring such discipline within their startups. I also want to appreciate the TiE team, especially Pallavi, Gitika, and Stanley, for collaborating with us on this great initiative. Also the jury thanks Mayank, Siddharth, Rohit, and Mandeep. Your enthusiasm in sharing insights and experiences has truly been amazing. And I think this has also laid the foundation for the Startup CFO Awards for the coming years. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Srijan. We'll request you to stay on stage with us. At this point, to get the award proceedings kick-started, I would also like to now invite on stage, and this is the jury, Mayank Gupta, Group CFO of Cardeco. Could we have Mayank Gupta on stage, please? I would also like to mention about the other jury members who unfortunately couldn't be with us, but they've also put in a lot of hard work and sweat. Mandeep Mehta, Group CFO, PB Fintech. Rohit Sabharwal, Founding and Managing Partner, Integra Solutions LLP. Siddharth Khaitan, CFO, SME Consumer Private Limited. Let's go forward with our first category. I would request our esteemed guests, could I have, Srijan, could we have you with us as well? I would also like to invite on stage Mr. Tarun Kumar, who's also from Binary Semantics, to also join us on stage before we present our first award. And the first award is under the category of Manufacturing Startup CFO of the Year. And that award goes to Ridhima Modi Agarwal, Kanpur Flower Cycling Private Limited, Foolco, for Manufacturing Startup CFO of the Year. Huge round of applause. Could we have Ridhima Agarwal on stage, please? Could we have the award on stage, please? Congratulations, Ridhima. Let's move on to our next category, and this is the Digital Enabling Startup CFO of the Year. And the award goes to Shailesh Kaul of Sinodrive Technologies Private Limited. Could we have Shailesh on stage, please? Huge round of applause, and could I request Mr. Srijan Choudhary to hand over the certificate and the trophy? Congratulations, Shailesh, to you and your entire team. Let's move on to our next award, and this is for the Startup CFO of the Year. And this goes on Harsh Khaitan, Kiwi Pick, under category of Consumer Products E-Commerce Startup CFO of the Year. Harsh, could we have you on stage, please? Huge round of applause. Congratulations, Harsh. Let's move on to our next set of awards, and this is the Energy Infrastructure and Clean Tech Startup CFO of the Year. And this goes to Vaibhav Anand of Bamboo. But I am being told by the team that on his behalf, we'll have Pranay Kumar, who will be receiving the award. Pranay, could we have you on stage, please? Could we also have a huge round of applause? Congratulations once again. Let's move on to our next category, and this is Governance and Compliance Excellent Startup CFO of the Year. And the award goes to Ritika Khatwa of Lark AL Healthcare. Could we please have Ritika on stage, please? Could we also have a huge round of applause, please? Congratulations once again. Before I let our esteemed jury and guests go, there is a very important announcement for all of you, and specifically as far as the winners are concerned. In appreciation for all the winners, GST Robo from Binary Semantics is now offering a subscription for 6 months free, amounting to a total value of 2 lakh rupees. GST Robo was created from the integration of technology with India's taxation revolution with an intent of simplifying GST compliance. And as of today, 1,500 plus enterprises are already benefiting from GST Robo and making their compliance management a tool for growth globally with initial footprint in Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, as well as Europe. A big thank you to our jury members as well as Binary Semantics for their support. And once again, a huge round of applause and congratulations for all our winners. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment that we've been waiting for. We now have the privilege of having our chief guest to hear his unique insights. May I please request on stage Alok Mittal, TiE Delhi-NCR, and request him to welcome MS Krishnan with a bouquet. I would also request Mr. Krishnan to please join us on stage. I would also like to invite Mr. Arvind Kumar, Director General, STPI, to also join us on stage. Secretary Sir, it's a huge honor for us that you could make the time and join us. Thank you so much. Could I now invite Alok to deliver a welcome address, please?
Secretary Sir, Mr. Krishnan, my very, very warm welcome to you. Many of us here in the TiE family have relished our long-standing relationship with MeetY, with STPI, and it is a privilege to have you here with all of us. As you're aware, there is also a program we are running right now with STPI on the Leap Ahead. That cohort has been progressing well. We will look forward to your continuous guidance and support as we do our bit to develop the entrepreneurial community in Delhi-NCR. Thank you, sir.
Could we have the video to be played once? STPI is releasing the next edition series of Knowledge Report on exploring the deep tech landscape, innovation, challenge, and opportunities. But before I request our dignitaries to really unveil the report, I would also like to invite on stage Praneet Singhal, Director, One Lettuce, and Subodh Sacham, Director, Innovation and Startups, STPI, to also join us on stage. Could I also request the dignitaries now to officially unveil the report for us? Thank you to all our dignitaries. STPI is set to launch the 7th edition of Challenge Program Chunauti 7.0 under NGIS. The theme of this challenge program is to try and empower women entrepreneurs to create India's innovation landscape. Without wasting any more time, I would now like to request the Secretary to launch the challenge program. Now, could I request the Secretary to launch the challenge program, and could we have a huge round of applause, please? The challenge program now officially launched. Could I also take this opportunity to request our Honorable Chief Guest, Sri S. Krishnan, Secretary Maiti, to deliver a keynote address. Please, sir.
Good evening to all of you. It's really a pleasure to be present here with you on International Women's Day, the 8th of March, in an event which fittingly celebrates innovation and entrepreneurship. Let me at the outset thank both STPI and TiEcon, the NCR area, for putting together this event and bringing in a large number of entrepreneurs, large number of innovators who today are fueling the growth of India's economy. This morning, I was at another very, very energetic event, the first National Creators Awards, which were presented by the Honorable Prime Minister to about 23 odd creators, content creators on various types of social media. Many of them are no less innovative and no less entrepreneurial than many of you who are present here on this occasion. And perhaps some of you overlap. There are two sets of in a Venn diagram which overlap. This is what India's new economy is all about. These are the opportunities that are getting created across a range of technologies, a range of spaces. This is also a space which is becoming more and more participative. People from different walks of life, different parts of the country have suddenly found technology so empowering, and they have enabled it, and they have used the enabling power of technology literally to overcome many odds, overcome many handicaps, to actually deliver value both for themselves in terms of the value that they can bring to their own lives, but also to society at large and to the economy at large. The Prime Minister did remark that it is the talent which is available in the country which is the greatest promise. Today, India is the fastest growing large economy in the world and has the greatest potential for growth simply because of the demographic dividend we possess today. And what events of this nature do is to help channelize that demographic dividend, help to channelize that talent into very, very constructive enterprise, which then enables people who were formerly merely job seekers to actually become job providers. And that is the manner in which entrepreneurship works. And oftentimes, we are all people who sometimes lose their way, sometimes are misguided in some ways, but can always come back to find the right path. Reinventing oneself is as important as any other phase. As I came to this event today, my driver was informed saying, this is the way that you need to take. And I was likening that to the path that an innovator or an entrepreneur takes. He depends on a mentor in certain cases and assumes that the mentor will guide him in the path that he needs to go. Then suddenly he finds that the way is lost. How many of them then make the effort, figure out a way of staying the entire difficult path and making sure that they come back and succeed again? And I think that is truly a message that many of you convey. Entrepreneurship or success in this area doesn't come easy. There are struggles. You try many times. People misguide you. You get lost somewhere. When you actually need help or assistance, you don't find it. But eventually, you succeed because you persevere, you persist, and you keep at what you need to do. And I think that becomes a very key element of what we try to do. The other aspect that I was thinking about, say from 30 years ago or a generation ago, is that this is a time when second chances are available. This is a time when social safety nets are available. This is a time when family support is available, when networks are available to ensure that even if there are one or two failures, you can always succeed. It's very interesting when you are evaluating proposals which come from various startups, innovators and others, and they look at all the money that they have down in the list, there'll be this column of so much came from friends and family, right? That is a form of support. That is a way in which you bootstrap yourself. That is a way in which you come up. Subsequently, it's a whole exercise of trying to see that the whole enterprise is pushed forward. There is a social recognition today that there is economic value in pushing it in that direction. There is a recognition today that businesses, enterprises should be allowed to fail if they fail, but it's not the entrepreneur who is to be blamed. The entrepreneur deserves one more chance, deserves many more opportunities to succeed. That being the social milieu, that being the social opportunity which is present, that being the way that even government policy operates, whether it is in the context of the kind of support, grant-based support, which various government programs offer new entrepreneurs, or in the way that the bankruptcy code today is structured, in order to take away the risk of being an entrepreneur, the individual risk of being an entrepreneur, society encourages you to take this path because there's societal and economic value in this being done. And that is an area where many of you need to actually take advantage of the environment, take advantage of the huge potential for growth, take advantage of possibly 2 or 3 decades of continuous growth that a country like India is bound to see, and take advantage of that. And why are we bound to see it? Because we are the one large economy which has population of enough young people who, with sufficient support, sufficient education, sufficient human development, can certainly sort of move and propel the economy, and there will be multiple opportunities that you can take up. That is the confidence with which we need to approach this task, and we need to work towards it. And where does the government's role come in all of this? The government's role basically comes up in making sure that those segments of the population which were hitherto excluded from becoming entrepreneurs, which hitherto had more odds than most others to become entrepreneurs or innovators, are supported in doing that. And in that respect, I'm extremely happy that today we are also launching the 7th round of Chunauti, which is specifically targeted to women, because I think having more women entrepreneurs participating in this entire exercise, having them as part of the economy is very, very critical. Let's be absolutely clear. What we have seen in the last 20 years or so is the work participation rate of women in the formal sector or even in the informal sector has fallen. Unfortunately, our economic statistics today do not measure the contribution that women make to the household sector of within domestic work, which is extremely significant and large. But even, and as a result, what we are really looking to measure is where their participation is in work outside the home. Today's context is such that in many economies and in many states of the country, the participation rate of women is dropping. I come from a state where that particular rate is fairly high amongst all Indian states, but still way below what it needs to be across when you compare globally. And if we have to look for rapid growth over these next 20 to 30 years, they, especially women, need to be far more active economic players in the formal economy, in the economy that directly contributes to the sector outside the home. And then that also has an obvious implication that somebody has to take up the slack at home. So I think the measure for, or what the men need to do is also fairly clear. So I think that balance needs to be restored to make sure that there is greater participation, they contribute more to growth, and they contribute to the economy in a way that it becomes far more significant. I learned from the TiE-NCR region executives who came and met me that today TiE-NCR is the largest agglomeration of entrepreneurs and mentors and the most active body in India. I congratulate this body, and I think you need to spread this message farther and wider across the country. We need to take it as the capital of India. We need to take it to more remote destinations. My instructions to my ministry, both to the MeitY Startup Hub and to STPI, both of whom lead many of the initiatives on entrepreneurship development within the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, has been to see that we support as many startups across the country as we can. We do more events combined with, regardless of who has seeded the startup, making sure that we achieve a critical mass. Because one of the things that we learn from the great startup or great entrepreneurial locations across the world, and you know, TiE also originated in the Silicon Valley. So whether you take the Silicon Valley or the area around Boston, or today you take the area around Bangalore and so on, one of the things that is important is critical mass. You need a critical mass of entrepreneurs. You need a critical mass of talented people who can work in the startups. You need a critical mass of venture capitalists and angel investors and others who are willing to invest in this. Each one of them needs to find their time worthwhile. And building that critical mass in more and more centers across the country is something that we can certainly do. I have personally, in my visits across the country to different locations like Guwahati and like Calcutta and various other locations, have found that there are a large number of budding entrepreneurs who are willing to go forward, who are willing to take the risk and are just looking for opportunities. And I think between TiE, STPI, and all the other ventures, if we create this network, if we enable more mentors to emerge, and we permit and we sort of aggregate all these startups in that area and try to take more and more venture capitalists into the area so that they can identify and find good businesses in which to make their investment, we can contribute to broad-basing this and democratizing this movement across the country and give more and more opportunities to more and more excluded sections to take the entrepreneurial route to not only create wealth for themselves, but also create a large number of jobs and grow the economy in the respective areas that they come from. Let me once again thank TiE-NCR region for having invited me on this occasion, and congratulate you and congratulate STPI on all the initiatives that you have taken. STPI itself is another of those agencies which is rediscovering a mission, which is engaging itself in spaces that can make a significant difference to the economy from, it's good to see that an organization doesn't rest on laurels of what was just achieved 2 or 3 decades ago, but moves on to try and contribute and stay relevant in newer areas. And that is a continued effort that the ministry will encourage them to take. And clearly, with all your support, we can actually display greater creativity and take India's economy and India's stature in the world to greater and greater heights. Thank you very much for having me this evening. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, sir, for those kind words. We'll just request our distinguished guests to stay on stage with us for a few more moments, because I will request Geetika to once again come on stage and offer a small token of appreciation from the TiE team for our distinguished guests. Thank you, Geetika. Could we request the guests to come on stage for a photo opportunity together, please. Thank you, Krishnan sir, once again for making the time and also offering those words of encouragement and support to everyone present here. Thank you so much once again. Could we have a huge round of applause for our chief guest once again, please? Ladies and gentlemen, we're all now set to talk about something very exciting, and this should have more energy with all of you. It's about real funding, unreal speed. I haven't made that up. That's exactly what we're going to see over the next 40 minutes to about 1 hour. This is a session that's powered by Venture Catalysts. We'd like to thank them for their continuous support. At this point, I would also like to invite on stage Vansh Oberoi from Venture Catalyst to say a few words. Vansh, could we have you on stage, please? Could we also invite on stage Mr. Raman Roy, Chairman and Managing Director, Quattro, who will also take forward the proceedings and then offer an official invite to Vansh on stage. Mr. Roy, please.
You can turn on the mic now. I wouldn't say bad things. Now they can turn on the mic, right? Good evening, folks. We'll just get ourselves a little organized. ये इधर कर दें यार. So I see a lot of people standing there at the back. We love you. You want to exit fast. We are going to lock the door so you won't be able to exit. You might as well come and sit on those empty chairs here. इधर इधर आगे को यार. हाँ ये कुर्सी भी दो. Okay, this light is a little tough to see everyone. So folks, welcome to the 13th edition of TiE the Knot. Real funding, unreal speed. We'll see if we can demonstrate a bit of that. 13th edition, I've had the honor and privilege of running 12 of the last 11. There are people who threaten to say if he's going to do it again, I'm not coming. That's why we're going to lock the doors. When they realize I'm going to do it, they can't leave. So TiE the Knot has become synonymous with innovation, entrepreneurship, and investment excellence. We started in 2013 for early stage funding, providing a curated space of, for high potential startups to pitch their ideas to a group of investors, astute investors maybe just investors, as long as they bring their checkbook. Our approach is sector agnostic. And today we mark the culmination of yet another successful season, which yet again exceeded expectations. Let me share that with you. Over the past 12 seasons, TiE the Knot has been the catalyst for remarkable success stories for 63 startups that have graced our stage till now. And we'll have 6 more. If my mathematics teacher taught me right, that will make it 69. 27 of the 63 have secured funding needed to propel their dreams into reality. I'll be honest, I'm an investor in at least 5 of the 27 that did, and they've done well. I'll talk a little about it. Together, they've raised over 100 crores as a testament to the transformative power of innovation and investment. The alumni of Tie the Knot, some of them I just met outside. There are companies like Peabody, Impact Guru, Wishberry, Happy, FT Cash, MobiC, Vedmigood, University Living, and many, many more. They got their first investment on Tie the Knot platform that you are about to observe. For this season, the journey began on November 10th when we invited applications from across the country. We were very overwhelmed with the response. We got more than 350 applications that came in before we closed entries on February 10th. So between November 10th, 23 and February 10th, 24, we got 350 applications, and then started a rigorous process for our jury, which is a telephonic jury and a score-based jury, to evaluate the submissions of these 350. That's a long process for those of you who've been a part of any kind of evaluation. But the net result of that was we ultimately shortlisted 18 startups to compete in the Tie the Knot 18. Of the 18, then Geeta and Kalpana. Geeta is not here. Kalpana is, stand up, Kalpana. These two worked extremely hard with these 18 startups to figure out where they could go, how they could project themselves, and what they could do. And each of the 18 startups captured the imaginations of a whole lot of people that we spoke to, essentially the investors sparking interest and excitement. Our tradition for the first 12 Tie the Knots that we did was to invite 5. We broke tradition this time. Given the caliber of the teams that we saw, we made a bold decision to extend invitations to 6 startups, recognizing their exceptional promise and potential. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't walk out after the 5. There are 6 this time. They represent innovation spanning diverse sectors, including energy, transportation, mobility, insurance, consumer services, consumer tech, travel technology, and software. Together, let us dare to dream, to innovate, and create a future limited only by our imagination. These 6 teams, actually the 18 teams demonstrate that. These 6 teams especially bring that out. Before I go forward and invite the teams, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our new partners at Tie the Knot, 9 Unicorns, and Venture Catalyst Plus Plus. They have been one of the Venture Capitalist Plus Plus and 9 Unicorns have been one of the leading funds for early stage startups and helped hundreds of founders build robust businesses. Your support has been invaluable in nurturing and propelling the dreams of these startups forward. Let me invite one of the persons from this. But before I get him on stage, let me talk about him and embarrass him a little. He's an operator turned VC with 10 plus years of experience, a co-founder of VC Grid, a unique community-driven and return-oriented syndicate fund of family offices and successful entrepreneurs. He's also the CIO of Venture Catalyst Plus Plus and leads the portfolio growth. He discovered his passion towards entrepreneurship while pursuing his graduation, which led him to drop out of engineering to explore the entrepreneurial opportunities at University of Delhi, where he completed his graduation in management studies. During his graduation, he co-founded an impact startup that developed India's first consumer-driven reverse vending machine that promoted recycling of plastic. Post his startup stint, he joined the best that there is. As a co-founder of IAN, I can only say that he joined IAN. And he did various roles within IAN of venture investing. He then moved on to join Venture Catalysts in 2018 and played a pivotal role in its evolution to Venture Catalyst Plus Plus, India's first multi-state VC fund. He has led 160 plus startup investments with syndication of $90 million and 30 plus partial and full exits. He has a personal portfolio of 31 startups and is on the board of 4 startups. So when I saw this and then I was to meet the person that I was going to invite on the stage, I was expecting a much more older person. And when he came up, I said, "Wo to theek hai, Vansh kahan hai?" Ladies and gentlemen, may I please invite Vansh Oberoi, Managing Partner, VC Grid and CIO, Venture Catalyst on stage. Welcome, Vansh.
Of course, that was extremely overwhelming as well as embarrassing. And probably with your permission, if I could call you Raman sir to sort of just throw a punch back. Because I know you hate being called Raman sir, but yeah, a very good evening to everyone. And, many congratulations to TiE for just like every year putting together a great show. And, it's an honor to partner up with TiE the Knot, which has, of course, over the years, created legacy of investing in great companies. I think we have had the privilege as Venture Catalyst to invest in a couple of companies that Raman sir mentioned, Impact Grew as well as Mobisi, which now is more famously known as Zip, and I'm sure you have seen them around in the Delhi-NCR region. While I know I stand between the 6 pitches that are to be followed, I'll just sort of welcome you with just giving a very short 4-5 minute overview of our group, how has been our journey. So as Venture Catalyst Group, we are essentially a multi-stage VC fund house, which is trying to solve for the need of the ecosystem by creating a support system across the financing of these companies, right from an ideation stage to a Series B, Series C stage. I think since 2016, we have taken the approach of investing and empowering innovation across industries, across stages and sectors. Just throwing some light on our holistic approach that we have taken at Venture Catalyst Group, we created the first, India's first accelerator VC fund, which turned out to be the largest accelerator VC fund called 9 Unicorns. The first fund that we did was a $120 million fund. We've been actively deploying through that fund since last 3 years, already produced 3 unicorns from the fund. And we'll soon sort of be out there to raise our next targeted fund, Fund 2 of 9 Unicorns, which will be a 300 million targeted corpus. And at 9 Unicorns, the idea is to invest in idea stage companies. Then comes our Venture Catalyst platform, where we today have different syndication funds, angel networks, integrated incubation, and Venture Catalyst is essentially a seed to pre-series A investing platform. Within that community, we today have more than 3,000 angel investors who are investing actively. As Raman mentioned in the introduction, VC Grid is supposed to be one of the most recent initiatives where we are bringing a syndication platform which is absolutely return focused and just focusing on family offices and successful entrepreneurs investing through that model. Beyond pre-series A and Series A that Venture Catalyst is investing in, we've created 2 growth stage funds. First one being BEAMS, which is a financial services sector focused fund investing in Series B and Series C stages. Then we have done a sector agnostic growth stage fund called Elevate Venture Partners. And Spire is a prop tech sector focused fund, but which is investing across stages. As a group, the group has a $480 million of committed capital that we are today managing. Over the years, over the course of 8 years, we've actually been investing, and this is a brief snapshot of our portfolio companies. If you see on the right-hand side corner, I think those are the 3 unicorns that we've been able to invest in, and more than 50 unicorns are today part of our portfolio. And at a portfolio level, I think the cumulative valuation of our portfolio is now touching almost $15 billion. And beyond this, I think the kind of impact that we have seen, having invested in close to 350 companies now in our 8 years of journey, I think we're humbly very proud to say that there have been certain category creators and leaders that we have been able to fortunately back at a very early stage. And if I talk about D2C sector or the consumer sector, companies like Beardo, My Fitness Peanut Butter brand, Rene Cosmetics. I'm sure these are now household names and household brands. I think we've been very fortunate to back these companies up from early stage. In the whole EV sector, I think across the EV themes, companies like Blue Smart, Zip, ChargeZone, these have been some phenomenal companies that we've backed. Across healthcare, Impact Guru or a Karkinos, these are certain, companies which are creating categories and becoming leaders. I think that's what we try to do. And, without sort of going in more depth of the portfolio, I think I don't want to stand for longer between the next set of companies. And I think before we start, I want to definitely congratulate all the 6 companies that are today pitching. I think it takes a lot of filtering processes as well as irrespective of the outcome of this event, I think it's a big stage where all the 6 companies that are featuring, I think they've already won quite a bit. And wishing everyone a very good evening and looking forward to a great engaging session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our sponsors. And for Vansh and Vansh, you go back to table 1. And I'll invite other people. So folks, what we have is 4 tables of investors. And I'll invite the people who are sitting on that. Should I tell them the rules right now? Okay, let them first come and sit so that they hear the rules of what they have to go by. This is the only time I get to tell investors what they have to do. So I don't want to miss a beat in telling them that. So on table 1 and table 2 are our investors who have significantly contributed to TiE and have funded startups on our platform in the past. Table 1 and 2. Those who are already sitting will stand up and at least wave to the audience. Alok Mittal, angel investor, CEO of Indifi and president of TiE-NCR. Welcome, Alok. Vikram Gupta. Where is Vikram? Vikram, show up or send your checkbook. That's all we need, though. Yeah, that I know. But is Vikram there? Okay, he's not there. Girish Shivani, executive director and fund manager, Your Nest. Hey, Girish, welcome. Once we've already met. On table 2 is Rajneesh Kapoor. I see you're not on table 3. You're on table 2. Rajneesh Kapoor, managing partner, IAN Fund. Kunal Khattar, founder, Advantage. Hey, Kunal, table 2, please. Ishan Singh, table 2, please. And Vatsal Kanaya, CIO of 100x.vc. Welcome, guys. We'll just talk of the rules. You violated the rules by sitting on the wrong table. This is the last time you'll be allowed to make a violation. Okay, investors who've significantly contributed to TiE. Table 3, Aditya Arora, CEO of Ford Capital. Show up, Aditya. Wave your hands. Okay, missing in action. Sanil Sachar. Hey, Sanil, come, come, come. Table 3, founding partner of Huddle Ventures. Addison Appu, Vice President Investments. Think you wait. Table 3. Welcome. Vineet Khurana, CEO, SARC India and angel investor. Vineet. Table 3, Dhruv Ranjan, AVP Anicut Capital. Dhruv, welcome to table 3. There you are. And table 4 are investors who are joining us for the first time on the TiE the Knot platform. He's changing tables. He's changing tables. Okay. So, Nitika Mishra Khurana. Hi, Nitika. Welcome to table 4, Head of Investments and Operations, Chandigarh Angels Network. Vinay Bansal, co-founder of Inflection Point Ventures. Vinay, oh, there you are. These lights are, anyway. Prashant Narang, founder, Agility Ventures. Prashant, come. Shrikant P. Pripu, founding partner, 108 Capital. Shrikant, missing in action. Shrikant, you can wave your hand, we'll recognize. And Nakul Saxena, President, Let's Venture. Come, Nakul. So, folks, first, the rules. Okay? Yes, you're investors. We understand that. That's why you're sitting on those tables. You have a right to ask questions. When you ask, I determine. You raise your hands, and in the order in which you raise your hands, we will try whatever can come in the time that we have for the questions. Please do not engage in a conversation with people. You can do that offline. This is a mode only for you to ask questions which the companies and their founders can answer. Each set of founders, we have 6, will have 5 minutes of presentation. At 4.5 minutes, I will remind them that they have only 30 seconds left. At 5, we'll tell them to stop. After they have finished their presentation, we have about 5 minutes. Vikram, you finally landed up. Late aaye, durust aaye. As long as he got his checkbook, that's all that matters. So at the end of 5 minutes, we have 5 minutes of Q&A. You can ask questions. We will even take a question from the audience. If time permits, if you'll put up your hand, we'll take a question from you. At the end of the question and answer session, we will go table by table. And now that we have 5 tables, we'll determine which table we start with and which we end with. For each one of the members to say whether they are interested in progressing or not interested in progressing. And then we'll take it from there. Fair, understood, including by the presenting founders, hopefully. Okay, so my question to you, what day is it today, ladies and gentlemen? Friday, Wednesday, okay, that's good. International Women's Day. So we have, perhaps sadly, only one lady investor, but welcome on International Women's Day. And our first team on International Women's Day is women from Nexus Power. Nexus is building a sustainable EV future with their biodegradable, non-toxic, fast-charge electric vehicle batteries from crop residue. These batteries are made out of earth-abundant materials with higher energy density and better performance. Nexus Power is looking to raise 4 crores from these investors here. Their total ask is 10 crores, of which they have hard commitments of 6 crores. The founders have told me that if they do not manage the 4 crores, here they have a soft commitment of 1.5 crores out of that 4 crores from their existing investors and founders. They are willing to offer, in exchange of the 4 crores, 5% equity for their company. With that, well, they are pre-revenue right now, so they have nil revenues as of now. With that, allow me to welcome Nishita and Nikita, co-founder CEO and co-founder CIO, on the stage. Welcome. Okay, folks. So, Nishita and Nikita, your 5 minutes starts now.
Thank you. Hi, good evening. I am Nishita Balya Singh. I represent Nexus as the co-founder and the CEO. And Nexus typically happened out of a late night terrace conversation where me and my co-founder were discussing about the electric vehicle industry. And that's where we read multiple news articles about the batteries catching fire, some kind of short circuits, not only harming human health, but the environment as well. And that's where we came down to understand that there are typically 4 major problems in the battery industry typically. First, India does not have an indigenously available battery manufacturing industry. We heavily rely on the imports from the Chinese and the European markets, and that not only increases the battery prices, it also increases the vehicle price. Second, when you look at the entire life cycle of these batteries, which is typically about 4 to 5 years for a two-wheeler, once the life cycle is over, we do not have a proper disposal mechanism. So these batteries are left in the landfills and then they get toxic and they naturally catch fire, causing multiple hazards. Thirdly, the major aspect is the safety part of it. The lithium-ion batteries have been subject to a lot of dendrite formation and short circuits, and that itself has been creating problems. So that compelled us to look at how we can innovate upon the battery space and look at better spaces in the battery industry. And while we were working on it, we typically had understanding of the agriculture residue burning, and that's where a lot of AQI and Delhi, Haryana, Punjab was having air pollution issues. So we just wanted to see if we can build upon a concept, and that's how Nexus was born. So Nexus is typically a biodegradable battery technology out of crop residue. So we typically procure this residue from the farmers, extract our main material, which is a biomaterial, a peptide, build the anode, cathode, electrolyte, which is the 3 main elements of a cell, get the cells together with the BMS and the chips to make the battery packs. And then these battery packs go into multiple different utilities, including mobility and stationary applications. So we are typically the pioneers in the most affordable and eco-friendly battery technology as on date in India. And how we compare with the existing technologies is that while we are almost at par in terms of performance, on the energy density, on the charging cycles, on our performance, we are typically at least 30-35% cheaper than the existing technology, and at the same time, much safer, and we're purely biodegradable. So the fact on the costing is that we typically are able to offer a performance which is at par with lithium-ion at a price of a lead-acid battery. So we typically are tapping multiple industries here. When you look at the battery market, we understand that it's actually growing rapidly in the mobility and stationary space. And we're also looking at the bioethanol space, because while we extract our peptides, we have a certain amount of co-products, which is the bioethanol and the biogas, which itself can go back in the system for additional revenues. So while we look at the industry trends, our main focus is the mobility and the stationary applications. In the mobility, we are focusing on electric vehicles, E2-wheelers, E3-wheelers, commercial vehicles, and drones. And on the grid storage is where we look at the stationary applications and the battery energy storage systems. So we have a pretty simple B2B business model, which is a direct sales channel, and we have 2 offerings here. One is the battery cells for companies who want to procure the cells and build their own battery packs with the chips and controllers and the BMS. And we have a ready-made battery pack offering, which goes into for companies where they want to directly fix it into their vehicles. So along with this, the co-products that we have can also be utilized as an additional source of revenue on the commercial scales. So we started off in 2020, ran multiple checks, built different materials, eventually raised multiple Government of India grants, raised our first round of equity investments in 2022. Since then, we've been able to scale up our operations. We presently have 4 market-ready products, and we are running our first phase large-scale POCs. We are, while these POCs are more like a cash burn for us, so we are pre-revenue, we are looking forward to do paid pilots. That's where our early revenues flow in the next 7 months, and then eventually look at a commercialization in the next 12 to 15 months. So as of now, we have 4 market-ready targeted products, and we're looking towards a commercialization around 2025. And we're typically looking at deploying 3,000 to 5,000 plus battery units in different phases in the OEM. So we've been in discussions with 11 odd OEMs for our large-scale POCs and paid pilots and trials. So we would like to emphasize on the kind of IP we hold today. So we are 50 plus patents strong in India and the US. Some of them have been granted, some are in examination and pending for us. So we hold these patents for the technology and the kind of innovation we're trying to bring in battery space. I'd just like to quickly highlight on the team. So we are a small 30-member team with about 10 to 12 plus years of experience in biomaterials and battery materials that we've come together to get the Nexus vision alive. So we are also targeting on the business impact that we can create by benefiting the farmers, and we align ourselves pretty well with the sustainable development goals as well, some directly and some indirectly. And today, I'm here to have a 10 CR ask, out of which I have hard commitments of 6 CR. I would like to close this round with the remaining 4, and we'd like to see if the investors here are interested to come in on this round. And I'd just like to highlight our existing investors on board and all the different partners that have come across with us together, including Government of India, Government of Odisha, the CSIR labs and multiple different partners, and G2 Angel Network, our lead investor for the last round. We've also been very fortunate to have been recognized by media in the last 3 to 4 years, very fortunate to be Forbes under 30 entrepreneur women to watch, Vogue Women at Workplace, and so on and so forth. So thank you so much for hearing me out, and I'll be very happy to answer questions.
Thank you. You almost kept to time. On the International Women's Day, we gave you 10 seconds extra. I'll get beaten up for this. So folks, for Nexus Power, table 1 to 4, those who have a question to ask, so we will start with the, okay, table 1. Alok. Use the mic, please. Thank you.
Thanks for the great presentation. Could you just walk us through, where is the science of this coming from? What's the research status on the technology?
Sure, sir. Thanks for that question. So we went back reading a lot of research papers dating almost back to 1910, 1912, where there were individual researchers, in fact, before lithium-ion, who were trying to look at biomaterials, typically peptide-based chemistries. So that's most of our literature review is coming in from there. Besides that, globally, there are certain educational institutes like the MITs and the University of Tokyo, where very basic research has been worked upon. The difference is where it's not been commercialized as yet, and that's where we are trying to build upon the technology, build a stronger chemistry, and commercialize it on the main front as of now.
Yeah, Rajneesh, go ahead.
So do you have third-party validation of your technology? Somebody certified it, somebody's tested it. Do you have the validation?
Yes, sir. So if you look at the battery technology industry today, until we go commercial into sales, there are no proper certifications that we have. Until then, it's an external validation that we have, which is through Government of India CSIR labs, which includes the Automotive Research Association, the ARCI, the IMMT, Institute of Minerals and Materials Technology. So they typically compare our cells with lithium-ion cells or the other technologies, and they give us a likewise report. So that's the kind of external validation we hold today. In fact, the numbers that I had quoted on the slide are all out of the external validation reports.
In terms of your efficiency of this product, is it going to fit into the L3, L5 or passenger vehicle category as well? And how do you rate it as compared to a lithium ion?
So we are a core cell chemistry company. We work on the cells. So we typically have existing form factors, a pouch cell and a cylindrical cell of different sizes as required. So while we are focused on our first phase, which is E2-wheeler and E3-wheeler, we can typically fit into commercial vehicles and passenger vehicles as well. So in fact, we've been in very basic discussions with certain commercial vehicle manufacturers also to have our battery trials and testings with them.
Yeah. So in terms of maintenance, I mean, I know you are prototyping, but in terms of maintenance, how you see your batteries in the long run? I mean, what is the longevity of the battery? How much repair it would require? I mean, have you thought about it?
So it's very brief, very basic for me right now. I could kind of give you a little bit of understanding. So we are looking at biodegradable batteries. A typical life cycle of these batteries is about 4 to 5 years. So post those 1200 charge cycles, these batteries actually finish with their life. So what happens is we can typically remove the outer covering and leave the entire material in the cell to go into the soil, and that will naturally biodegrade. And that process takes about 6 to 7 months. But during that channel, these batteries do not have a dendrite formation issue, and they have not been subject to any kind of short circuit. So in that situation, the maintenance question is slightly on the lower side for us.
We'll let the lady ask the ladies the question.
Great presentation, guys. So what's your timeline to the first paid POC?
So, ma'am, presently we are running large-scale POCs, but these are not paid POCs. This is more like a cash burn for us.
Yeah.
We are looking at a timeline of at least 7 months before we start our paid pilots.
Okay.
And basically 2 reasons. One, we also would like to set up a paid pilot production unit, and that we need those timelines for that.
Vikram.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit more about your revenue projections and how you're going to utilize these funds, the 10 crores that you're raising?
Sure, sir. So this 10 CR that we're raising right now helps us set our road for the commercialization. We'd like to spend this amount in setting up a small pilot production plant. Along with that, do our paid pilots as well as the large-scale POCs, and then set up the stepping stones for the commercialization. That's the pretty typical pool for the 10 CR. In terms of our projections for the FY 24-25, we are expecting about early paid pilot revenues to flow in to be to the tune of 5 to 7 crores. Eventually, when we look at commercialization, we're looking to start off with at least 30-35 crores and eventually grow. So we're looking at being EBITDA positive in about 3 to 4 years' time.
Let's talk about future. So 5 years down the line, what do you think can be the cost? You know, how much can you bring down the cost? Because for the mass adoption to take place, in fact, in the lithium-ion battery space as well, $60 to $70 per kilowatt hour is, what's speculated should be the pricing of, that should be the pricing for the mass adoption to take place. What's your opinion on this? What about your batteries?
So we have projected pricing for us at $90 to $110 per kilowatt hour, which as on date is already about 35-40% cheaper than the existing batteries. But while we have these projections, we are also quoting almost 50-55% of gross revenues on these gross margins, on these numbers, because we are looking at a premium for the R&D that we're doing. Eventually, we can cut down our gross margins, and that will help us cut down the prices. And on economies of scale, while we can control the residue prices, we can also cut down our raw material prices. So automatically, in 5 years' time, we expect to come down to about $65-70 odd for the electric vehicle industry. For the grid storage, we believe that the premium is good enough, and it can continue. It's a niche space.
Second last question. And I'll come to you.
What exactly is your GTM in terms of prioritization? Are you looking at the aftermarket space, or you're looking to sell to OEMs, because that's an extremely long sales cycle?
Sir, we are presently reaching out to OEMs because as of now we are doing large-scale POCs, and for us these large-scale data logs and test logs are important to establish the structure with the OEMs. I mean, the integration is important for us. So we are reaching out to OEMs and trying to build a base there. So for us, we would like to do the POCs first, eventually have the paid pilot contracts, and then look at a commercialization. A little longer cycle, but we want that trust to build eventually, where we can build our test logs and also have the validation coming in on a large scale.
Yeah, so you said 6 out of 10 crores is already sewn up.
Yep.
So what stage are you? Is the due diligence happening? Term sheets are signed? What are the terms of the 6 crore round that you've closed out?
Sure. So at the moment we've signed the term sheets. We've almost started our DD process. And for this round, the terms is a 55 CR post-money round.
Okay, folks. Nexus Power. 5% in return for 4 crores. I'll start with table 5. Anybody interested in investing? No? 1, 2. Okay. Table 3.
The valuation doesn't match, right? 5% for 4 crores is 80 crores. But you said post money is 55, so...
So yeah, I think that there's a little bit of error there, but yeah, we've signed term sheet for 55 post money. We can stand at that valuation.
Okay, so that changes the thought process.
What is only linked to value?
Subject to due diligence, we would be interested.
Such lovely founders. Such a great product. You only stuck on valuation.
No, I mean, there is a stark difference between 55 and 80, so...
Yeah,
Yes.
minor. Yeah, but okay. So table 3, any interest? 1, 2. Okay. Table 2. Table 2, any interest in Nexus Power? No. Table 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. Congratulations,
Thank
ladies.
you.
You've got a lot of interest.
Thank you.
Remember, a little bit for me. Congratulations. All the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 investors for Nexus Power. That is great. Ladies and gentlemen, now, Insurance Samadhan, they are India's most trusted platform for resolution of insurance complaints. They resolve complaints of insurance mis-selling, claim rejection, claim short settlement, and claim delays. The total ask is again 10 crores, of which they have existing commitments of 6 crores. So their ask from all of us today is 4 crores for 3.2% of the equity. I see people reaching for your calculators to figure out the valuation. 3.20% for 4 crores. Their present revenue is 45 lakhs per month. With that, allow me to invite on stage Deepak, co-founder and CEO, Shilpa Arora, co-founder and CEO, and Ravi Mathur, co-founder and CEO. Folks, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Okay, your 5 minutes starts now.
Hi, good evening everyone. We are here to raise INR 10 CR at a pre-money valuation of 125 crore INR, and we have a commitment of 6 crore INR from our existing investors.
We take pride in sharing that we are the category starter and category leader in the industry.
Hi, I'm sure all of you would have some or the other policy, life, health, or general insurance policy. And this one question would always, worry you that whether I'll get my claim or not. In year 2021, the registered complaints were $0.8 billion against the research done by Red Seer, a very famous research organization. The same year, they did a research and they said the complaints were actually $15 billion. So it's like an iceberg effect. Most of the complaints are not registered. Insurance Samadhan is a tech platform, and we resolve insurance complaints like mis-selling, claim rejections, short settlements, and claim delays. We've already solved more than 16,000 complaints and got over 110 crores in aggrieved customers' account. As we speak, we have almost 9,600 complaints in hand, and the complaint size is almost 150 crores. It's a tech platform, and our most intelligent technology sits at the top of the funnel. Our filtration process uses 100 to 120 parameters and selects the genuine complaint. Once the complaint is selected, then our platform creates a representation for insurance company and ombudsman. Between these two buckets, we solve almost 65 to 70% complaints. Balance complaints go to consumer court after we take the consent from the customer. We charge 12% success fee. Let me share that this fee is as high as 35% in US and 20 to 25% in Singapore. There are few regional players who operate in either life insurance or health insurance. We're the only pan-India player using technology, and we are in life, health, and general insurance. When we started Insurance Samadhan, we had thought of twofold approach. First was reactive, when the event of mis-selling or claim rejection has already happened, and then we assist the customer in getting their money. The next approach was proactive approach, where the idea was to cater to every single policy holder, and we also help them in filing their claim. Know Your Policy is another approach towards our proactive approach, wherein this is a unique feature globally. Our technology reads through the policy pack of the customer using the in-house OCR and finds the gap. And with a click of a button, that gap is bridged. And for this reason, the company cannot come back and say that you will not get your claim. So it is a foolproof method wherein you can fix your issue today and your claim will never get rejected. We've been growing year on year, and this financial year we should close our revenue at close to 5.5 crores. Sorry. Next financial year, we intend to do 15 crores. The 3x growth will come primarily for 3 reasons. One is we've been growing on an average of 80%. So from 5.5 crores, that will take us to 9.9 crores. We intend to change our fees from 12% to 15%. So that will take us to 11.3, 11.5 crores. And balance would come from the partnership which we're building. Our customers come to us either directly on our platform, which is our B2C channel, or via our partners. Any large distribution network or corporate can use us as their value-added services, or also individual wealth managers or insurance advisors, they use us as their value-added services. These are few of our partners, and as I said, next financial year, the focus is entirely to build partnership, and that's where the growth will come. It's a low CAC business. Let me also take an opportunity to share that we've been unit economics positive for last 3.5 years. CAMS seems to be one of the most interesting partnerships. We've just signed an agreement with them, and our tech integration is on. Since inception, the total policyholder who reached out to us were approximately 5 lakhs. CAMS itself has 65 lakh policyholders, and 2 to 3 lakhs are added month on month. You can imagine the upside. Our last round was led by IIFL. Rajesh Sood is our mentor and one of the most celebrated CXO in the industry. Between founders put together and leadership team, we have more than 100 years of insurance experience, more than 35 years of legal expertise, and more than 25 years of tech expertise. Focus, as I said, is towards building the partnership, and that's where the money will go. This is our team, which is creating a paradigm shift in customer experience. Thanks a lot. Happy to hear any questions.
Thank you very much. He stuck to time, guys. Clap for that. We'll come there for questions. I will start the other way around. No. You can't ask a question. We'll go to table 4. Okay, go ahead.
Very interesting to see this because this is a need of the customers for sure.
Thank you.
I'll just go directly to the revenue numbers. You're talking 5.5 is what you're going to close. You're going to go to 15 crores in the coming financial year. Can you explain how you're going to do that? What gives you that confidence, and for what are you going to use the money for?
Sure. So first question, how do we reach from 5.5 to 15? Like I said, our average growth has been 80%. So from 5.4, 9.9 crore is easily, we can reach. Like I said, our fees is going to increase from 12% to 15%, which we've already increased from 1st of March. So there will be a cascading effect. For few cases would be resolved, which will be passed at 12%, and few would be resolved, which will be at 15%. So put together, that should take us to 12.3 crores. And like I said, our focus this financial year is completely partnership, and there's an amazing upside to it. So I think 15 crore, I would actually say, is very, very easily approachable. Aspirations are much higher.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what's the breakup out of the 5.5 crore here?
Sorry.
Out of the 5.5 crore, what will be the breakup between the registration fee and the success fee?
Great. So our success fee is 12%. Like I said, our registration fees is only 500 rupees. So I would say maybe 3 to 4% will be registration fees. Rest is 12% success fee.
Are we burning anything right now, and at what scale we'll be going break even?
Yes, we are burning right now. Our current monthly expense is 1.10 crores. We are making 45 lakhs. By June, we should touch almost 70 lakh revenues. By September, we should be touching close to 1 crore. And we will not be burning more. Like I said, the focus is completely partnership. Our B2C is on auto mode, so we have a capping on a performance marketing budget.
Okay, I see Vansh raising his hand. Is 9Unicorn not an investor? You're conflicted. You cannot ask another question.
He's always excited about our business. So maybe
that is fine. Excitement is all very good. Conflict is real. Go ahead, please.
Hi. What's the split between categories of insurance? Which one's the largest for you?
Our health insurance is the largest, which is about 55 to 60% depending on the month. Then comes the life insurance mis-selling, and then the general insurance and the death claim. Life insurance is 30-35%.
No follow-ups. No follow-ups. Srijan, please.
Hi. As an individual investor, one of the things I always look out for is looking at possible political risks or industry sector risks in this matter. you're working in a sector where your entire fee is contingent litigation, right? And the recourse to your business is a consumer court. Now, contingent litigation is not allowed in India. So I want to understand how are you charging people a success fee basis, because the recourse in your business is consumer forum where no lawyer can charge a success fee.
Great
So
question.
explain that point to me.
Great question. So like I mentioned, our 65 to 70% success is between company and ombudsman. A very small percentage goes to consumer court. And we are not a lawyer, we are not lawyers, we are basically service providers. So we don't come under that ambit.
Technical
Also,
difference.
can I elaborate? Maybe you would also want to know, we are getting money out of insurance companies' pocket, which obviously they would not be happy. Interestingly, from not being happy, today we are partnering with them because today there are few insurance companies where the complaint doesn't even go to ombudsman. It is getting settled at the first level because they've understood that insurance Samadhan is only raising right complaints and these are their own customers. We're not into selling, that's one of our USP.
So, if you have 100 policies coming at the top of the funnel, by the time they get to the bottom of the funnel, how much drop-offs happen at what level and what are these percentages?
Great. So drop-off happens only at the first level, so top of the funnel. When the customer comes, so let's say on a daily basis we get 100 complaints. Our acceptance ratio in B2C is 5 to 6%, so which we say no to 95% people, but we give them other services like claim filing and know your policy. When it comes to partner channel, because these partners are first level of underwriters, so when they get the complaint, the acceptance ratio goes up to 40%. And hence, as I said, our focus is more partner channel this time.
I'll allow a non-investor. Go ahead, please.
I am definitely one of the investors. That's not a problem for you. So hi, this is Priyanka from TiEcon Ventures. Just I want to understand that what would be the TAT of getting the claims from the insurance company to the customers, like the time that it takes.
So as per the IRDA guidelines, the company has to respond within 14 days. So we follow a TAT of 45 days. So we do escalate once again if they don't resolve. So we take 45 days at the company level. And then at the ombudsman, as per the guideline, it's 3 months that the ombudsman take. And we have seen about 4 or 5 months sometimes happen depending on the location, like Mumbai, Pune, where the number of complaints are higher, then it may take higher time. In location like Bangalore, Chennai, where probably we have not seen much, then the TAT comes to 1.5 month also at
That
ombudsman.
means you get your success fee or this only after that.
No, this is not
Just
a
asking
conversation.
because how they run
You
with the
can have a
working capital.
conversation later. Go
Okay,
ahead,
thank
sir.
you.
Yeah. So I saw in your competitive chart that life insurance is only held by you and no other competitor in that area. Is that correct?
That's correct.
But why is then life insurance not a large part of your portfolio, which you said 50 to 60% is health? And this is assuming that if you're doing a 5 crore annual revenue, you are actually making 50 crore money back into the bank accounts of the agreed parties. Would that be correct? Okay, so if you could help me answer on life insurance.
So interesting question. So when we started, our portfolio was 70% life, which means mis-selling. Life is more mis-selling. And then, health and then general insurance. So post-COVID or during COVID, this portfolio increased. Health became much larger. We became, famous in Shark Tank and a lot of complaints started coming to us. So, but if you really ask me, eventually in couple of years down the line, it will be 30-40% life and 30-40% health and 20-25% general insurance because we have not even touched the tip of the iceberg. Yeah.
Rajni, second last question, one
so
more.
Could you talk about
we'll
your
come
6
to you.
crore committed round? Do you have a term sheet? Is the valuation set? Because I'm not able to figure out from your revenue to your valuation. The multiple, I'm not able to understand that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So let me take a step back. So we did our last round, which was led by IFL Series A last January, which was pre-money 77 crores and post-money 98 crores. We've just simply, done a math. Our revenue growth has been from last financial year to this financial year almost 30%. So we have taken another 30%, and it is 125 crore pre-money valuation, and 135 post after we get 10 crores. This 6 crores is committed by. Sorry, should I repeat?
No.
Okay. I think
No
there was a confusion, so I wanted to clarify. It's important. So 6 crore is from existing investors.
Existing investors. Go ahead. Last question.
IFL is a strategic player. How much do they own today?
16%.
And between the founders, how much you control?
45%.
Okay.
Okay, folks. Insurance Samadhan. We will this time start from table 1. Any interest? Table 1. Oh, Vikram put up his hand only to scratch his head. Table 1. No interest. Table 2. Say that again. You like to get more information. Okay. Table 3. Okay. Table 4. 1. And the additional question came from table 5. Any possible interest? Okay. So you have 2 people interested. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All the very best. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, folks. Our next startup is Coatloot. It is India's largest B2B2C platform for non-MRP, non-grocery retail scaling businesses, both offline and online. They have a monthly revenue of 3.1 crores. Wow, that's nice. Their ask is for 5 crores for 0.7% of their equity. While they are looking to raise 5 crores here, they have 35 crores already received in the bank at the same valuation from multiple investors. I will not read their names, but only to say that includes 9 Unicorn. So once you're not entitled to ask any questions to them also. So allow me to welcome Jasmeet Thin, co-founder of Coatloot. Jasmeet, welcome. So your 5 minutes starts now.
I know a lot of you guys are wondering, wow, valuation. Okay, I'll get to that. So guys, my name is Jasmeet. The company is called Coatloot. Very, very happy Women's Day to all the women here. A lot of people miss that. So what Coatloot does is we are a B2B2C company, largely focusing on non-grocery, non-MRP segment. Largely, raste ka maal saste mein. And to give you a market size of how big that market is, India has about $1 trillion of retail. 650 is just pure grocery. Your, khana, pina, atta, chakki. But there is a big white space when it comes to the non-grocery. When you look into your own homes, from your cut curtains to your bed sheet, to the t-shirts that you wear, or to the shoes that India wears, all of them have no price tags when they actually reach the retailers. And the retailers sell it at whatever price they want. But there is another challenge. There are about 25 million such non-grocery retail merchants in India, which essentially haven't grown. And less than 2% of them have any access to marketplaces. They're not allowed on Amazon, Flipkart, Meeshos of the world. To give you some data, 5% of all Amazon sellers do 90% of all Amazon sales. And that's where Coatloot comes in. Over the last 4-5 years, these guys have not been able to grow because they don't have enough customer demand. It's all seasonality. Their supply chain is broken. A guy sitting in Sarojini Nagar is not going to Agra to procure shoes. He's not going to Tirupur to get products. And of course, they don't have any single trusted partner. They get credit from someone else. They get stocks from someone else. They have different wholesalers. And of course, they have negligible e-commerce sales. So over the last 4 years, what Coatloot did, and that's where we burnt a lot of the money, is actually help them scale B2C online. So a guy sitting in Sarojini Nagar was delivering orders in Sirajpur through the Coatloot app by digitizing their stores on just the mobile phone. India's problem is not just digitization, it's demand generation. We got them orders over the last 4-5 years and helped them increase their sales from just 2,000 rupees in 2020 to 25,000 rupees on our platform as of today every month. Plus, we gave them direct access to factories and everything in local languages. So this is the heat map of all the retailers that are registered on Kootloot, and all our sellers are essentially non-grocery, non-MRP retail store owners. They are not e-commerce sellers. We don't even have a dashboard. Everything is mobile first. Our business model is very simple. We connect retailers to buyers, and because we know the data that you don't get on AC Nielsen or IMRB or what's selling in the market, we reverse engineer the supply chain and connect them to factories to help them source products directly from factories at smaller MOQs and cheaper prices. Today, we control 25% of their demand, and the data we get is the store size, the price points, the category split, and their sale amount. To give you some KPIs, we have 22 million downloads on the Play Store. We have 1.3 million registered sellers, about 500K of them active. Every store has about 196 SKU online. Today, we also have 51 offline stores. These are Kootloot branded offline stores around Mumbai, some in Lucknow, and some in Bhopal as well. Our 3-year retention of the sellers that have been using Kootloot, have been selling or buying, are 54%. Today, we do about 290 crore of GMV run rate as of now. This number was much bigger before because we have seasonality effects. So during Diwali, this number goes to about 450, 500. And after Diwali, it kind of peaks down. Before, we did not monetize on B2C. Now we monetize on B2B, which is supply chain, where our margins are 22% and our EBITDA is 11% positive. We burn money on the B2C business because of returns, RTOs, which you guys know. Our stores give us about 9 to 10 crore rupees of revenue just from the offline sales. Today, we are about at 34 crore of ARR. We use technology first, so we have a B2C marketplace. In the same B2C marketplace, the supply chain is embedded. We also give data analytics to these sellers, and logistics, finance, and all the other ledgers are integrated into one app. The challenge of e-commerce is that there's high RTO, there's thin margins, there's high logistic costs, and it's all discount-driven sales in India. That's where we're actually changing that. So we're not just helping these guys sell online, we're helping them margins on the supply chain, increase margins. We're helping them monetize the data of saying कि बाजू में क्या ज़्यादा बिक रहा है, आप भी वो खरीद के बेचो. We're helping them with working capital loans. These guys don't get loans directly from factories. We're also launching private labels. For every Lee Levi's sold in India, yes, sir. There are 10 Jack Taylors sold in India. These are local brands. So we focus on local brands. And we are reimagining retail. So what we are doing is we are converting a small shop into a branded Kootloot store by investing in their stores, also putting our supply chain in their store, wherein the retailer is not making 10 to 20% margin, but today they're making about 30% margins on an average on the supply that they get. So we have about 51 stores across Bombay, and our unit economics are pretty positive. They're 1.2% on logistics. We get free marketing, gross margins at 20%, and we get an 18 lakh rupee upfront PO from every store that we actually onboard. Zudio does this, but in a much more bigger Zara kind of a way. We're doing 2 levels below. So we are serving the drivers and the buys that you have in your homes. We'll be about 350 stores by the end of the year. And this is a team. I come from Unilever. My co-founders come from similar, AC Nielsen and Loginext. And our vision is to empower these 25 million sellers to scale and serve the consumers.
Thank you, Jasmeet. So Kootloot. Okay, Ishan, go ahead.
So what I'm guessing after looking at some of your company financials
yes, sir.
Is that you are now becoming a Vishal Mega Mart.
Absolutely, sir.
In a nutshell.
Absolutely, and what we're doing is these were the same sellers.
After having burnt a lot of money and having a college tuition fees paid by a lot of investors, you realize that the e-commerce model isn't working, so you're going to physical now.
Okay.
How do you and when do you plan to break even?
Okay, so most of our revenue comes from the B2B business, which is where we're monetizing. To answer your question, the e-commerce business that we did not have sellers from Amazon or Meesho that were selling on us. We focused from day zero on retailers. Because the problem with retailers is not digitization, but demand generation. That's why we burnt a lot of the money, right? So Vishal Mega Mart, the stores are owned by the company and run by the company. We don't own the stores. We are a technology partner. So we provide a supply chain, the working capital, and we provide a PO on 100 rupees stamp paper with post-dated checks from every retailer. We do a DD ourselves on these retailers, and only then we actually convert them to Kootloot stores. So we'll be profitable once we have 250 offline stores. And an average store gives up about 24 lakh rupees of PO per year.
Nitika.
Yes, sir.
Nitika, go ahead.
Yeah. Can you talk about all the previous rounds, whatever?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you've raised multiple
Yeah.
rounds. And also, how has been your growth year on year?
Sure. So we raised the seed round back in 2017. Back then, we were a second-hand business. So what we were doing was we were building a P2P second-hand business for pre-owned products. That's how the journey started. I myself stood on, exhibition and stole Kareena Kapoor's used dress. That's the journey how it started. So VCats invested in us at a pre-money of less than $500,000 valuation with just a business model. Then we raised at a $5 million valuation about $1 million. Then we raised about, at a $25 million, we raised about $7 million. That was the pre-money. And this is the current round where we raised $5 million and $70 million pre-money. Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Any other? Wait. If
Yes.
there is nobody else, then I'll allow a follow-up. I still control this, no? You may not notice it, but go ahead, please.
Just wanted to know
Yes.
how much equity is left with the founders.
So the founders, we have about 35% of the equity left. We actually lost a lot of the equity in the first round, and then we tried to get it back later on. I'll be very honest about that.
Okay, any other questions? Any question from the audience? Okay, folks, Coatloot, 5 crores at 0.7%.
Okay, can I add to that? So we've also given secondary exits to all our investors in every round. A lot of them have made multiples from 20 to 60x from the seed stage that they invested. So in this 5 crores, we'll also be happy to do a mix of primary and secondary so that you get a valuation discounting as well.
Okay, primary and secondary, 5, that's not, 5 crores plus.
Within the 5 crores is also
Secondary.
okay, because we've closed most of the money.
Okay, whatever, I wasn't told that.
Yes, sir.
Say that again. Yes, please.
Please.
Take the mic from there. We still have 1 minute, 40 seconds for questions, yes. You're not from 9 Unicorn, are you? No, great.
So why can't these retailers go to Amazon and sell over there? Point number one. Secondly, are you selling this analytics to companies like Unilever, P&G, because they would be quite interested in these analytics also?
So to answer your first question, to sell on Amazon, you need a GST, you need an ITR, you need a computer, you need an Excel sheet. A retailer doesn't know all of this. A retailer wants pure dhanda. There is only 2 ways to work with a retailer in India, and working at Unilever for like 4 or 5 years, I can tell you, either you get them more demand or you get them more margins. They don't want digitization, they don't want innovation. So you have to solve their current cycles. That's what we're trying to solve. To answer your second question, I do not touch grocery. We do not touch grocery at all. We do everything that is non-grocery. So most of our supplies, they come from Tirupur, Agra, Surat, Ludhiana, some Chinese supply as well, but most of the Chinese supply that comes into India is actually coming from a gray market. So we're also fighting that. But however, because of the manufacturing increase in India, a lot of the Chinese supply is very restricted to certain categories now.
So 40 seconds more if anybody wants to ask a question. Nobody does, so let's go to the investor. So I'll start from the middle now. We'll start from 3. Any interest? 1, yes. Any others? Table number 1, any interest? You are an existing investor. You cannot raise your hand. He and I will meet separately outside.
Or Dala.
You know, he was an investor in the first round. He's an investor out of the existing commitments of 35 crores that are there. And he's going to invest more. Okay, great. Any others on table 1? Any on table 2? No. Table 3 we covered. Table 4. Okay, Jasmeet, you have one interest from here and your existing investor.
Thank you, sir.
What? You buy him a lunch or a dinner every time?
No,
he
I'll
visits
probably
you?
make money for him. That's the best part.
Oh, yeah, you will. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. That was Coatloot. And now we come to our 4th startup. It's DeckPeg, which is an AI-enabled live communication platform to connect consumers and businesses over audio-video bot. Wow. They are looking to raise 8 crores. The founder reminded me that's $1 million. I mean, thank you very much. I could do the maths myself. On a dilution of 10%, they have 20% of that, about 1.6 crores, or $200,000 if you're in millions. 20% in soft commitments of 1.6 crores. Their present revenue is a 1 crore ARR. With that, allow me to welcome on stage Vipul Jain, the founder of TiEcon. Hey Vipul, welcome.
Thank you, Ramadan.
And your 5 minutes starts now.
Hey, thanks a lot, everyone. First of all, I would like to show you this small QR code, which we guys are giving it to the brands. And I'll just keep it on the table. So, yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Vipul Jain. I'm founder and CEO of TiEcon. So how exactly we have started this particular problem in itself? The biggest problem which we have found is the remote assistance. While you are purchasing a high ticket size item, a consumer cannot able to connect to the offline store in itself. In a very simple way, if you want to purchase a Dell laptop, you want to talk to the Dell store in itself and gather the primary information, or suppose your Dell laptop is not working, or you want to extend your AMC, you want to talk to the Dell service center in itself. So that's sort of a remote assistance our product can able to provide. The second problem, which you guys are literally solving it up, chat. Chat support is now an old tech in itself when you're working in an infrastructure of 4G, 5G. It's pretty cumbersome, it's pretty incomplete, it has zero visuals in it, and it doesn't have a multilingual support. Those are the key problems which our particular product is solving. And that's the reason we guys have built it up an AI-enabled live communication platform, or in a very simple way, we want to go from chat support to an audio-video bot in itself. So this is how exactly our video is not working now. Yeah. So this is how exactly it integrates. This is just a demo for Bajaj, with whom we are doing a POC. On their website to their store, we are keeping these QR codes in itself. People can scan this. The lead form will going to come. They'll fill up, and they'll instantly connect it to the store or the service center or to the customer support in itself. This is the way by which we guys are connecting an offline showrooms with the customer in itself, whether it's a new customer or an existing customer. We guys are successfully completed more than 1 lakh calls a month. Right now, we are doing it for our client, which is Blue Star, a consumer electronics. Since last 1.5 years, they're working along with us, and we can proudly talk about that we have crossed more than 10 lakh calls in total in itself. Right now, we guys are doing a POC with various consumer businesses, primarily into the consumer electronics and automobile space in itself. And that's sort of a, you can say, demographic, which looks like we can scale quite easily globally with this particular product to look for. This is our business model. Our business model is pay per minute per account. All these details are available on our website in itself. We are a SaaS company, so every month we are charging to our customers in itself. We guys are like in the business since last 2 years in itself. We guys have already crossed more than 1 crore ARR. We guys will going to be an EBITDA positive by 2025 in itself. Now, these are the business impact which we guys are doing it up in the consumer industry. The first important part is that we are optimizing the client acquisition and sales cost in itself by 20-22%. We're enhancing the operational efficiency because we are implementing an omni-channel implementation, and we are literally saving operational cost of more than 1 CR every quarter for the businesses with whom we guys are working right now. We will going to use this particular fund to build a moat primarily onto the AI side of it. That's when we are talking about building a live translation to speech side, already implemented an MOM, video MOM kind of a thing in itself, go behind bigger market and tag those particular target audience in itself. In our previous fund round, we raised close to $500,000 with venture capitalists and Chennai Angels, who are, can say, primary investors. And this is our founding team. This particular company is founded by myself, along with Raghavendra Hegde.
Vipul, you have 30 seconds left.
So this is the third company which I'm building upon. Before this, I built Bitstock, a mobile advertising platform, WhatsApp Pro, a mobile app on the audio-video space. Raghavendra is having 20 years of experience in the video analytics. And we have a board member, Venki, who is the CEO of Kevin Care, along with our team in itself. Thanks a lot, guys, for giving us this opportunity. I'm happy to hear your questions in itself.
Thank you. He said 3 seconds.
Operational
so,
efficiency.
For DeckPeg, questions. Okay, we'll start with you at table 3. Then we'll come to you, Nisha.
Can you tell a bit more about your sales cycle, right from initial reach out till pilot till actual deployment? How long does it take?
Okay, so right now our sales, at this moment, our sales cycle is close to 4 to 4.5 months in itself in starting the paid POC. So free POC, we are not encouraging much. We are encouraging the discounted POC with our clients in itself. Whatever clients we have shown are the discounted POCs which we are doing it up. So that's the first thing. Why it is happening? Because we are not marketed well right now our product in itself. The education and doing a marketing around the product in itself is still left.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So in your business model, you spoke about pay per minute, and there was this fixed fee also per month you're charging. Can you elaborate more on that?
So our business model is pay per minute per account in itself. Okay, so say for example, TVS Motors is talking about close to implementing 4,000 showrooms and service centers in itself across India. Okay, so in that case, we are charging them per account and then per minute in itself. So there's no fixed fee or there's no setup fee in itself.
So what is that 100 USD per month?
Great, go ahead.
So what does the current cap table look like, and how much money have you raised in the previous rounds, etc.?
So we have raised only one time, which is like 2 years back, $500,000. That's our, you can say, previous round. And right now, both founders own more than 86% of the equity still in the company.
Sorry, I'm not sure I got the pricing model sorted in my head. What is the denominator on the pricing model? What do you charge on basis of? What do you expect your client to pay you?
So
AR basis, single client.
Okay, so one client pays us pay per minute per account. Okay, so for example, if you have a 30 sales agent, every agent will give one account along with pre-filled minutes in itself on the package. So we have.
Okay.
Yep. Please correct if I'm wrong. I saw on your slide that you have minus 222% EBITDA this year. Is that correct?
Oh, I haven't checked. Okay, might be this.
But then 7% positive next year. How is that going to happen?
No, I think that's a mistake. I missed it. Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed it.
Okay, that was a mistake.
Thanks.
Okay, Shan, go ahead.
So you know this product category you're in, the multi-dimensional virtual assistant, has many people attacking the same. Everyone who's come from a call center background is developing similar technology. You don't have a slide on competition. Could you tell us a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So So one, you correctly, we do not have. The reason is that still those guys, okay, virtual assistant when you're talking about, first thing is that they are still developing. We are talking about the successful case studies along with us on the video part of it. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we guys are pure play focusing upon the AI implementation. So say, for example, which I have not put it up here, we are the first company across the world who is doing an integration with Gemini because the work is happening right now. Okay, so those things, we are way ahead than those particular companies you are talking about. The worst and first or the very important part is that the DNA of the founders comes from a video background. we understand this entire dynamics quite well. I myself built 2 media companies. Raghavendra comes from 20 years of experience into the video. So that DNA actually helps us to build a strong and a scalable product in itself.
Okay. No, Nitika, you can go with your follow-up.
So my question is more on the valuation
And Alok,
front.
I'll come to you
So your
afterwards.
ARR is 1 CR, right? And you're expecting a 80 CR valuation, correct?
Yes.
So I mean, at what valuation when you raised the last round? What was your ARR then?
So when we raise this, okay, so I'm going to tell you, like, we have started actually our company from live TV. That's our first product in itself.
Okay.
This is a product which we have launched close to 1.5 years back in itself, okay. So at that time, okay, we have closed down and the post money of close to $5 million in itself. So that's the mathematics.
What was your ARR? That was my question.
At that time,
You did not.
at that time our ARR was like close to what, $20,000. I think so, not more than that.
Suresh, you have a question?
So how does your customer measure success metrics?
Yeah. Okay. So first thing is that because we are tracking every first-party data, so right from the discussions, the amount of because we are doing a call recordings, we are capturing the data. In fact, in our product in itself, we have an integration with payment. Customer can share documents, okay, on the call in itself, okay. So all those capabilities we already have in that. By this, we are tracking. That's the first thing which we are tracking on the efficiency side. The second thing, okay, for example, in a customer like TVS Motors, we are reduced down their field visits in itself, okay. The third metrics which we are tracking about is that all those outsourced parties till date, there's no mechanism to audit or monitor their activities. Now with call recording in place, you can literally monitor their activities, and that's how we are increasing the operational efficiency.
Okay, folks. TechPeg, 8 crores at 10%. I'll start with table 2. Any interest? No. I'll go to table. At a minor price, anything is possible. Yeah, we'll arrange for you to get the deck, Ishan. So would you therefore be interested in evaluating further? Okay, great. Table 3. No interest. Table 4. No. Table 1.
Not at this price.
Not at this price. So at a different valuation, you'd be interested?
Yes, I would be happy to double click, but at a valuation which is maybe less than half of what he wants.
Ooh. Less than half.
Yeah, same.
Same.
Half.
Okay, at half, less than half or less than half? Okay, half. Okay, less than half, go away. Half is there. Okay, anybody else interested at a different valuation, not half? Less than half. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll at least let Vipul respond to that at a different valuation, half or whatever, there is interest, and whether the company would be interested in evaluating that further.
Yeah.
Vipul, over to you.
Yeah, happy to talk.
Happy to talk, guys. Wow. Was this all set up? You guys had pre-planned it? He's not even an existing investor. So he couldn't have influenced that. So at a different valuation, congratulations,
Thank
you have
you,
a lot
sir.
of interest. All the very best, Vipul. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought you were going to leave that behind for me, but okay. Life is tough. So, ladies and gentlemen, our next startup is Traversy. It's a B2B SaaS platform that resolves, hold your breath, holiday package sourcing challenges of the travel agents by connecting them directly and seamlessly with global suppliers of holiday packages. They have a monthly revenue of 14 lakhs right now. Their raise is 5 crores and offering 12% of equity in exchange. They have a 1 crore soft commitment already for that, out of that 5 crores. With that, allow me to welcome Vikas Khandaria, founder and CEO of Travesty. Welcome, Vikas. Oh, did I? Khandaria, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, my fault. So your 5 minutes starts now.
Hi everyone, I'm Vikas Kadaria, founder and CEO of Travesty.com. Travesty is a B2B SaaS platform that has streamlined the broken supply chain between the large travel agents market and global suppliers of holiday packages. Similar to customers, travel agents also have to source holiday packages for their customers from various suppliers at the destination. For 3 lakh travel agents in India itself, there are only 15 to 20 suppliers at each destination. They all work on email, phone call messages. There is no seamless tech platform between them. There is no customization display window that suppliers have to showcase their products to large travel agents market, nor do they have any seamless distribution channel. Hence, suppliers have limited bandwidth to work with number of travel agents month on month. Therefore, middlemen controls the value chain with their margins, which leads to lower profitability for smaller travel agents, especially who are huge in number in India, and the market, holiday package market, is unorganized and offline. Travesty is bridging the gap between the two through its enterprise solution. The solution automates suppliers' business workflow by organizing and streamlining their inventory. This has helped us develop industry's first holiday package APIs for seamless distribution of suppliers' inventory into the large travel agents market, not only to this, but to various other B2B channels. For travel agents, we have launched suppliers marketplace, where the products of multiple suppliers are listed. Travel agent has a choice to buy a bundled package or piecemeal, and they can customize the package in less than 1 minute and with real-time pricing without any interaction with supplier. But if they like the price, they can connect with suppliers seamlessly with zero interaction with Travesty team. Here we have done a strong product market fit where activation of large travel agents market is done with the help of suppliers network. So for travel agent, we are a holiday sourcing platform and we are their contracting partner. For suppliers, we are their technology partner and we provide them access to large travel agents market. As we have already launched holiday package APIs, our vision is to build global distribution system for B2B holiday package sourcing industry, which requires consolidation of global agents market without reinventing the supply side. Indian travel industry is going to be 125 billion, let's say report by 26-27. The Indian B2B package sourcing industry is completely unexplored, and actually the global market is completely unexplored. So we are globally unique, at least unique in India. So the scope is 15 billion since it's a white space, and the consumer in holiday package industry is price sensitive and they have low loyalty. Hence, travel agents face-to-face interaction gives them trust factor and they have edge over other platforms. We are already live with Indian destination, Far East, Middle East and Australia. We'll be live with Europe and America soon. How we differentiate from others? See, direct introduction with agent and supplier, wider choice of products, customization in less than 1 minute, global scale up. But the most important part is transparency, which no one has done, which means invoicing, cancellation, refund, and service of end customer happens directly between agent and supplier. Travesty has no role to play in it, and we can vouch for it today that we are democratizing the market in true sense. So far, our revenue stream is concerned, we are charging 50,000 rupees as subscription fee annually from suppliers, and 2% on every successful transaction. From travel agents, we don't charge anything. We charge if they want suppliers' inventory to be displayed on their website through APIs, then we charge travel agent 25,000 rupees annually. And there are marketing tools like they can download any supplier's product through flyers. We charge 1,000 rupees for 50 flyers. As the platform is seamless, there are multiple revenue streams which will be live as we scale.
30 seconds left.
Our GTV is, we will be onboarding 25% of the travel agents market by 26-27. As low cost of acquisition, high sale TV will be EBITDA positive in 18 months, even if an agent books one package in 2 months. We are raising 5 crores and we'll be spending most of the money in scaling the business. Earlier, we raised 2 crores at a valuation of 20 crores. I have 18 years of business experience where I used to run processes for telecom and banking institutions. Sunil and Rajneesh, they both are directors of technology in the company. We are together for 14 years. So, and completely focused on holiday package industry. Raman and Jay Gunani, they take care of growing the business by onboarding suppliers and travel agents market. And we receive multiple awards. We were recently nominated as top 3 finalists in Leaders of Tomorrow, which was evaluated by EY. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikas. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, questions for Vikas. Okay, go ahead. Rajneesh, I'll come to you next.
So Vikas, how many travel agents are online today in your system? And when you are talking about real-time pricing, a travel agent would probably want to put up some markup on the package that you are selling. So what is the typical AOV that you are dealing with? Number of agents onboarded and the AOV per package?
So we already have 9,000 travel agents registered with us and almost 100 suppliers we already have onboarded. And AOV is since we did in last 2 years we did domestic more of a domestic business. So current AOV is approximately 50,000 rupees. And we are increasing the outbound business now. We have already onboarded approximately 14 to 15 outbound suppliers. So it will be 80,000 once the traction comes in outbound sales.
What's your business model? How do you charge? And what's your revenue?
So we charge suppliers 50,000 rupees annually as subscription fee and 2% on every successful transaction that happens between suppliers and travel agents. That's our revenue. Total revenue as of now, our ARR is approximately 1.7 crores.
I know this is a pain point over here.
Oh, sorry.
I know this is a pain point of travel agents. Just want to ask you, globally, anybody offering these travel APIs, and for the next 1 year, what are your main challenges, risks, and how do you plan to mitigate that?
Okay, so so far we have the first mover advantage. So because we are dealing with suppliers in various Middle East, Far East, and suppliers haven't told us that there is any other platform which exists at least in Southeast Asia or Middle East where we already have suppliers. Your second question was the adoption of
He asked 2 questions?
No, no, it was related question.
I tried to disguise it.
Yeah. So tech adoption, the pace of tech adoption actually. See, earlier we were working as open marketplace, but now we have changed to enterprise solution. It is difficult to activate 3 lakh travel agents in India for a single company. So hence we did the product market fit whereby through enterprise solution, suppliers are activating the travel agents market, not TravZ. So basically we are raising fund to grow the suppliers network, the supplier side. See, supplier side is very limited, 15 to 20 suppliers. Even if we have like 30 to 40% of suppliers, the stickiness of agent and the growth will happen, the expansion will be huge. So for tech adoption, we are raising the business. We go personally meet the suppliers.
Yeah, Vikas, quick question. I mean, there are so many players involved in the process, right? There's suppliers, there's the tech platform, then you've got the travel agents. When things go wrong, customers they're overpromised, pricing is incorrect, product doesn't get delivered, because on the supply side, it's a complicated. Who's responsible and how do you resolve that?
See, so far we have done 5,000 transactions. So far, in last 2 years. And in 5,000 transactions, we are sitting on zero escalation. 150 businesses have reviewed us, number 1. Number 2, yes, of course, we are doing due diligence of suppliers. If there is something happens, I'm not saying that we are completely responsible, but yes, we have agreements with suppliers. We identify ourselves, but at the same time, we tell our travel agent that TiE will ensure that even if we have to delist the supplier, we will delist the supplier, and we will ensure that we support our travel agents community for this. We will support our travel agents community for this in case any mess up happens at supplier's end.
Go ahead.
So finally, I get to ask the question.
Yeah, I notice you're not an investor. How come he reached here without your investing in him?
So what's the fund utilization plan and the business milestones that you set?
See, fund utilization, we have already done PMF, so now we are raising money. 56% will go to scale the business.
Sorry, 150?
56% will go to scale the business, and we need money to right now it's on web. So we need money to develop a mobile app and a service app. So we are developing a service app between agent, supplier, and the customer. 3 of them. So service app will reduce the escalation further as asked by earlier. So we need the money to develop the mobile app and the service app, and we need the money for marketing, branding, and server.
What's the scale that you'll get to after?
We will be, as I said, that currently we are on 1.7 ARR. 24-25 will be 6.85 crores.
Last question. Go ahead.
7 crores, basically.
Very quickly, define supplier.
Suppliers. Suppliers are providing various services, land services, which includes airport transfers to various sightseeing, itineraries. They have pre-purchased hotel, they bundle it and sell it to resellers. Who are resellers? OTAs and large travel agents market. So they minus flights. So if you see a report, Red Sea report talks about that OTAs have flights and hotels, they have the largest share. But bus, airport transfer, intercity transfers, and bundled package, that's where they are struggling. And this is the problem that we have resolved.
Okay, so that was the supplier definition, and the investor definition presently is these 5 tables. So I'll start with table number 4. Any interest in investing in Travis?
Need to know one thing before coming. Just, there's no question, just the information is needed. No question.
So, not a question, but an information.
We just need
My English teacher taught me where you ask something and you need information, that's a bloody question. Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to know who were your last investors, commitment for this round, and are you flexible on valuation? Quickly.
Okay, so my last investor is one of the board member of DLF. He's a chartered accountant. He invested 2 crores in 2021 when I was developing the business model. I am flexible on valuation, so which is your third question, and what's the second question? Commitment level is of 1 crore at the moment, a soft commitment from one of the HNI.
That even I announced. You don't take me seriously, that's the whole problem. Okay, folks, table number 4, any interest? Oh, wow, 3 on table number 4. Table 3.
No questions, but one information needed.
Again, God, this is becoming a habit. Go ahead.
So let the excitement remain.
Yeah, so I don't know, your numbers don't add up. You said you have 9,000 agents on your platform whom you're charging 25,000 rupees.
Only if they want APIs, not
Only
everyone.
if they want APIs.
Yes.
Hence so ARR is 1.7 crores, you said. So how many of these have actually got the API from you?
See, so we built
सारा कुछ
APIs.
यहीं पूछ लोगे तो बाद में बात क्या करोगे उससे?
At the moment, there are 300 to 400 travel agents who are using our APIs.
Okay, so 3 there. Any interest? Table 3. 1, 2, 5.
Subject to one question.
Okay, it's becoming a habit. It's on number 5, so go ahead.
1.7 crores of ARR, is it GMV or net in your bank?
It is not. GMV is about 9 crores, and it is net in our bank 1.6.
Okay, interested.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5, 6. Any others on table 7? Table 8? Wow, you got 8 people.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You did not count me. I raised my hand, you didn't count me.
1, 2, 3, what?
4.
You made all my mathematics go wrong by saying that, I'll ask something, but it's not a question, but I need an answer.
But I raised my hand.
Okay, so there are 9 people.
Thank
wow.
you. Thank you so much.
Just 5% for me, right?
You said 2.5% earlier.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Because congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All the
Aman.
very best.
Thank you so much.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, our sixth. We broke the norm from the 5 to the 6. NimbleUp is a SaaS platform that helps retail chains reduce labor costs and improve productivity through AI-powered demand forecasting and automated scheduling, operations tasks, audits, and incident management. What they do not do is use commas or full stops in a sentence. So they are raising 4 crores and offering 10% of equity in exchange. Their total raise is 5 crores. They have 1 crore from an existing investor who is sitting here. So Vikram, IVCAP being an investor, you're not entitled to ask any questions or influence others on your table. So 4 crores for 10%. Their monthly net revenue is 25 lakhs right now. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to call on stage Yogesh Bhatt and Manish Thakur. Yogesh is the CEO and Manish the CTO for NimbleUp. Congratulations. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
And your 5 minutes starts now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yogesh. Prior to starting NimbleUp, I worked in the retail industry for about 17 years. My last stint was with Tata Starbucks, where I led the digital innovation function. And the idea for NimbleUp stemmed from some of the problems that we were trying to solve at NimbleUp. Manpower costs are extremely high in retail industry, forms about 12 to 18% of the top line. A staggering 25% to 30% goes wasted because of improper forecasting and manpower scheduling. Maintaining brand standards, especially for large retailers who operate across multiple regions and multiple formats, can be a formidable challenge. Lastly, location manager who's at the front line has to navigate between multiple apps to run the store profitably. In terms of solution, at the heart of our platform is an AI-based forecasting engine, which predicts sales at a sales channel level and what items they'll sell from each of the channel and at transaction level. And we've developed a proprietary auto-scheduling engine, which once we know the demand forecast at an hourly level, basis the operations guideline, it will auto-schedule the roster, which essentially helps a retailer reducing wastage by ensuring you have lean team during lean sales period and maximizing availability during your high sales period. Retail industry is very sensitive to events. For instance, today we have Women's Day, Happy Women's Day, and also Mahashivratri, which means Starbucks and brands like Blue Tokai and fine dine restaurants will do extremely well. However, brands like KFC and Burger King may not do very well. This information is significantly important for the frontline user, because if they don't know these trends and how these events will impact, they may lose out on sales and they may end up wasting. So this is where NimbleUp helps retailers by accurately forecasting demand, improves their profitability between 2 to 5%, reduces scheduling time by more than 90%, improves brand standard adherence and SOP adherence by 90%. We've developed a single platform where retailers can do demand planning, scheduling, task and audit management. In terms of opportunity, globally, workforce scheduling market is about $30 billion opportunity. Task and audit management feature, which is the second feature that we sell, is about roughly about $19 billion. Our current presence is within India and Southeast Asia, which happens to be about $3 billion opportunity. In terms of our customers, we are currently working with some of the finest names in QSR industry. Since I had a background in QSR industry, we started with QSR industry, but we are also now talking to like-minded industry in terms of supermarkets, pharmacy chains, cloud grocery retailers. We are also in talks with, in last 9 months, we've grown from about 700 outlets to about 2,500 outlets. We are also in talks with Yum brand, Asia Pacific office, and Burger King or restaurant brands to do a tie-up where we become their preferred vendors. In terms of our financials, so we started our operations late 2020. and we've grown significantly since then. We turned EBITDA positive in December 2023. In the last 3 months, we've done revenue of about 71 lakhs with a profitability of about 18 lakhs. Our current MRR is about 25 lakh and ARR of about 3 crores. In terms of teams, Manish and I are the co-founders. Manish and I, we were batchmates during our computer science days. Manish led event technology business before joining hands with me. We have Naveen Gurnani as our angel investor as well as advisor. He was ex-CEO at Starbucks and Tim Hortons, and now he operates out of US and also helps us build connection in the US market. We also have Ivy Cap Ventures as our investment partners. In terms of our GTM, so we are looking at three-pronged approach. One is product-led. So our existing customers, so when we started with workforce scheduling. Then we added a feature called task and audit. So our existing users have started using that. We also have plans to complete the entire journey when a user...
seconds left.
Thank you. So we have plans like right from, our vision is right from when a user joins a company, their onboarding, their training, their productivity improvement, and their career development should happen through a single platform. We have plans to do market expansion. So as I mentioned earlier, we are now present in Southeast Asia doing multiple discussions with brands present there. Most of our current brands, our customers are US-based brands, so we are leveraging their name to get introduced in the US market. Third is industry expansion. We are currently present in QSR market, but adjacent industry like supermarkets, pharmacy chains are our next go-to industry segments. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so nimble up. 4 crores for 10%. Questions? Go ahead.
So are you saying you can forecast demand at a store level, at an SKU level by day?
Absolutely. So we have a self-learning AI-based engine. So we use 3 or 4 AI models and also some statistical models. So what we do is we take, and it's an end-to-end metrics where we take sales historical data at a store level and then overlay that data with weather and events data and then understand the correlation between events and weather, and that's how we predict. We predict at sales channel, item. So most of the retailers now are omni-channel. So essentially the guy sitting at the store is kind of opaque to where the demand is going to come from. So, so we predict at the sales channel, item, and at the transaction level, which helps them plan their team better.
And therefore you charge subscription or?
Alok, go ahead. Alok, there's a mic there.
So I want to get a sense of your sales velocity. How much time does it take to close these clients? What do they pay you on an ARR basis? And do you have thoughts on how revenue per client can go up so that the business can be more significant than the $10 million that you're projecting right now in a 4-year time frame?
Yes. So in terms of our sales velocity, it's between 3 to 6 months within India and Southeast Asia market. We expect US market to be more punishing at the same time being faster than their Indian counterparts. In terms of some of the features that we are building, we are leveraging our current customers. So there is an entry as well as exit barrier with the brands that we work with. So once we have entrenched, it becomes easier for us to sell to the same customer and use that and to sell that to their counterparts. So that's our thought in terms of scaling up. First is using the existing brand in other markets, then selling them this adjacent products or ancillary products on top of the foundation product that we are selling. Annual contract value within India is about 40 lakhs. Annually, we typically sign a 3-year contract. Within US, it's between 100,000 USD to about 150,000 USD.
So I'm a bit confused. From demand prediction software to career planning and training, I'm not able to figure this out. I mean, what do you really do? Because
Excellent.
aren't you then doing something else there?
Right. So yeah, actually, when we started building this, we also realized that we grappled with this question. So essentially what happens is when we do workforce scheduling, we are getting 3 data points. One is the user, which is the employee master that we get. Then we get sales data. Now, when the user is already there on our platform and we have the store data, we also get when is the user joining in. Now, for us to schedule really well, we need to know what are they trained at, right? So currently, they use our system. They will mark what is the training, what is the station level. So in a static way, we are currently providing training solution also, but we don't provide like online training modules. So the thought is once we know the user, once they've joined in, we know what they're supposed to do. Can we now use our app, which they are already using, to train them, like planned training? So typically, I'll give you an example. Like in Starbucks India, for a user to become effective, they take about 45 days to learn everything. So that can be reduced to about 50% if we know when the user is joining and what are the steps that they need to take to become productive. One more small element to this is, once I know that they've trained at something, when they're coming to the store, when they log into our app, can we tell them what are they supposed to do now? Right, so that's the thought process.
Taking that Starbucks example, Starbucks might be present in different locations, and within India also, geographic presence and locality presence will be different. So when you're predicting it, certain locality will have spikes and some localities will have downflows. But when you're talking about the revenue, the annual contract of each company, are you signing it at the parent level, or you then maximizing it by the number of stores also they have?
So we are signing at the company level, at the headquarter level, and then so we charge at a per location per month basis.
So your software then is used by them to distribute the...
Software is used at the store level. So
no follow-ups. We'll talk about it. Go ahead.
So store manager will essentially use the app, and then all the reports associated with...
we'll deduct 10%.
Hey Yogesh.
Hello.
Can you elaborate and quantify a little bit by case study, ideally, on what the exact business impact of your models has been?
Absolutely. So I'll take two examples. So we started our journey with Starbucks India. So their cost of labor was about 17%. So when we demonstrated within 6 months, we brought it down to about 15%. Now they are pushing us to bring it down to about 13%. Similarly, there is an inherent waste. So it's not all with the technology. There's an inherent wastage within the system. So because it's difficult we are dealing with time series data, so it's difficult to predict how the sales are going to be. Like today's impact, like Women's Day, it's very difficult for a store manager. So what they essentially do is they use previous week's schedule and copy, or they use their intuition. And that's where the wastage comes from. And that's one use case where the cost of labor. The second use case is typically for a company like McDonald's, who will have about 45-member team at the store. It takes about 2 to 4 hours to do the scheduling. So we bring it down to about 20 minutes once the schedule is generated. So that's also a tangible saving that they see.
Second last question.
Yeah, hi. I have a question. What is your immediate scaling plan?
Of course you have a question. That's why we asked.
What is the immediate scaling plan if you're raising this? Like, which sector are you entering into after this, like QSR and then?
Right. So we are right now focused on QSR, supermarkets, and pharmacy chains. And that's one aspect where we are moving towards different industries. The second is establishing better presence in Southeast Asia. We also want to do about 3 to 4 pilots in the US markets, for which we've started discussions.
And the last question.
Hi, what were the terms of the previous round here?
Yeah, hello.
The terms of the previous round, when it was, what was the total round size?
Yeah, so we raised about 2 crores at 14 crores pre-money valuation.
So ladies and gentlemen, nimble up. 4 crores for 10% of the equity. I'll start with table 2. Interested? 2, 3. Okay, table 1. 1. I'm checking whether you are. No. Ivy cap is 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. 10, 11, 12, even from the audience. 13. Congratulations, guys.
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay, 5%. All right. Congratulations. This is great. Yogesh, Manish. Thank you very much. And folks, that was our 6th startup. Thank you for being a part of our 13th edition. We look forward to having you at our 14th edition very, very soon. Thank you very much. Enjoy the evening. You can't still go for drinks and dinner. There is another session. You're looking very thirsty and hungry. There is another session before you get your drinks and dinner. Have a great evening. Thank you very much.
Can we have a huge round of applause for Sir for hosting the proceedings so well? One of the most interactive sessions that we've had all through the day. Wasn't easy over 1 hour to keep up the energy. Thank you so much. I would request all of you to not leave because we have some more sessions that are lined up for you and a very special performance as well. So we'll request you to take your seats. Let's get straight to our next session. Before that, we'd also like to thank our partners once again, CKP Memorial Session Partner Deloitte, Investment Partners, Indian Angel Network, and Ivy Cap Ventures. It is now time to welcome our friends from TiE Toronto to share some very, very exciting opportunities. Expanding your startup's horizon to Canada with TiE Toronto, powered by TiE Toronto and Startup Steroid. I would like to invite on stage very special guests, Upasana Sharma, Vice President, TiE Toronto, and Ashish Sabu, co-founder and CEO, Startup Steroid. Welcome on stage. Floor is yours.
A very, very good evening to some of the nicest people in Delhi from a bit colder Toronto. Before we start our presentation, I want to make 2 disclaimers. First, Ashish has traveled 23 hours from SoCal. I have traveled 16 hours from Toronto just to come here and speak with all of you. We are smart people though. When Gitika said, when do you want to present? We said, we want to host the cocktails and we want to present before the cocktails. And while I was discussing the contract with her, I put a condition in. Everyone who will stay for our session will get extra drinks, maybe some special cocktails, and those who are going to leave the session, your cocktails and drinks are iffy. So all the visionary and trailblazers standing at the back, not sure you want to sit for it. If you like drinks, I would ask you to please come and join us. My second disclaimer is, I'm sure none of you control what Prime Minister says in your country. Similarly, I don't control what Trudeau says. So I'm not going to make any comment on that, and please don't ask me questions about that. If that all is okay, let me just tell you, I am Upasana Sharma, Vice President, TiE Toronto. I'm a Canadian who comes from a country where everyone in our country, be it public sector, private sector, clearly knows that immigrant entrepreneurs bring us what we call as investment, spur innovation, create jobs for Canadians, and that's how we grow. So we, the country of 40 million, which is kind of less than if you put Delhi and Mumbai together, truly believe in bringing immigrant entrepreneurs and helping them succeed. Can I have access to my presentation, please? I think so I was in a hurry to start as everyone was leaving. So if you have stopped, please take a seat. So in 2023, when OECD, which is the Organization of Economic Development and Cooperation, told everyone that Canada is the most attractive destination for startups and businesses, it was no surprise to us. Believe me, initially I thought they did that because Canadians are kind of the nicest people on the face of the earth. We are always polite, we are always welcoming, but that was not the only reason. They looked at some very, very hardcore facts when they said to entrepreneurs that if you want to launch your business in Canada, then this is the destination. Some of those factors are access to capital, access to talent, and how the government is supporting innovation. I'm going to touch very quickly about some of those factors. The very first factor is global market access. We are smart people. We know we are 40 million. We are a small market. So for us to survive and the entrepreneurs in our country to survive, they need access to global markets. So Canadian government has actually signed free trade agreements with around 55 countries around the world. So if you are a Canadian company, you have access to those markets absolutely seamlessly. Second thing, which is very important for us, is our location. Again, we know we are a smaller market, but what we have is a wide, very safe, open border with our big brother called US. And as we know that a very handsome man with the golden red hair might come back to power down south, our position becomes stronger because we will continue to be welcoming. NAFTA 2.0 helps Canadian companies to have massive access in the US market, which other than us, only Mexicans have. So if this is the business that you have, which needs to be launched into the US market, nearshoring into the Canadian market is what we do, and we have made it seamless because it does get us benefits. Another reason is it's very easy to do business in Canada. We have a colonial hangover just like you guys. We speak the same language called English. We have the common law system, so it's not very difficult to figure out how to work. Plus, if US is the market you're looking for, it's the same time zone you are in, and it's easy to work in that market. If you're still not convinced that Canada is the country for you, let me just spend a little bit of numbers here. Again, we are just a country of 40 million people. We are not a billion. In spite of that, in 2023, we saw over 8.9 billion being invested by venture capitalists in the startups or the businesses in the Canadian ecosystem. Again, our spur for innovation by the government is so great that we have something called as STRED credits. What does it mean? Every penny that you spend in Canada in R&D, in developing your product, government gives you that money back. I thought nobody knew about it, but not to my surprise, I was in Chandigarh just before coming to TiEcon Delhi, and I got to meet some amazing visionary entrepreneurs. First person I met, and they are developing an AI solution for in IP outsourcing, and they said, you know, my entire AI for my platform is being developed in the Canadian market, and for every dollar I'm spending, after paying the consultant who helps us, I still get 80 cents back. So why will I develop somewhere else? Brilliant. Not only that, I met another person in Bangalore, and they are in a health tech startup which is focusing on myocardial infarction. His question was, again, I want my startup and my R&D to be in Canada because that's where the research is and where all the leading guidelines are coming for managing of myocardial infarction. Talking to these guys, I really thought they are making my pitch so easy. But in every city I have traveled in the last 1 week, one after another, people are giving examples to us why they think Canada is the right market for that. Again, let's go a little bit more about the city I come from, Toronto. Amazing city to live, feels like New York, but much easier to navigate. In Toronto itself, we are the world's seventh startup ecosystem, and the pace at which we are growing is faster than Silicon Valley. I did not say that, Ashish, but that's what is happening. We have over 4,100 startups, and the last year, if I'm not wrong, around $3.3 billion were invested in that startup. Most importantly, access to talent. Toronto right now has over 51% population which was born outside Canada. And these are people who represent over 155 countries. And they are not just any people. We are magnet for talent. So again, I was talking to someone, I think so, either in Hyderabad, and they are in a gaming industry. We started talking, and he said, you know what? My entire tech development platform is taking place in Toronto. It was a little bit confusing. You are sitting in a city which is the hub of IT outsourcing, and you have development happening in Toronto? His answer was, I'm developing a gaming platform, and how people use the gaming platform depends upon their background, their culture. Somebody playing in Vietnam would be very different from somebody in Colombia. It is one city. We have 20 developers, each from a different country, giving him the perspective that he wants. That's what Toronto offers. That's what we offer. So I will put a disclaimer here. Invest Canada is not paying me a penny. I wish they would, and if you think my presentation is good, I would ask you to give a recommendation to them. But it's easy to sell a country, which is so amazing. So why we are here and why I am talking about Canada? There's several ways that you can enter Canada. There is one of the ways where TiE Toronto plays a significant role, and that is Canada's Startup Visa program, which I want to quickly discuss today. So this program came in 2013, and it's a massive pull for companies looking to enter Canada. The requirements are very simple. I might ask you for multiple choice questions exam after that, but it's a very simple requirement. First, if you have an innovative business which you think can grow globally, create jobs for Canadians, that's it. You can bring your startup and up to 5 co-founders with you directly into Canada on permanent residency. It's that simple. But why TiE is talking about it? Canadian government kind of knew that they don't have in-house expertise to figure out which is a good startup and which is a bad startup. So they're kind of smart. They know they have limited resources. So they went to the usual players in any startup ecosystem, which are VCs, angels, and incubators, and said, guys, you deal with Canadian startups all the time. Apply the same standards. We have companies from outside Canada applying under the system. Take them through the process of due diligence that you will do with any standard Canadian company. And if you think this company fulfills the requirement of startup visa, issue them a document called letter of support and give us a commitment certificate that why this company should move to Canada. TiE Toronto has been delegated that authority by the Canadian government that we can do due diligence on companies coming from outside Canada, issue them a letter of support, and qualify them to enter Canada. Kudos to the TiE Global Network. They know how we attract good entrepreneurs. So pat on yourself that you're here today. That's one of the reasons that TiE Toronto can enable and facilitate your entry into the Canadian ecosystem. So if you need to know more details about how we qualify, we can talk about it tomorrow. Me and Ashish are going to be here. We have a very standard 4-step process, which we can actually wrap up in less than 4 weeks to qualify you for the Canadian market. And when you are in Canada, this is what we offer. First, our incubation program is in collaboration with OCI, Ontario Centre for Innovation, which is like T-Hub in Hyderabad, or the biggest innovation center in Canada. Along with that, we have tied up with platforms like Startup Steroid, and the massive access they give you, that's what Ashish is going to talk to you about. Other than that, as TiE has a TiE, Delhi has a massive network, or any other TiE chapter has, TiE Toronto has a massive network of leaders who can help you to enter the Canadian market. Without any delay, Ashish.
Thank you, Upasana. So it's an honor and privilege to share the stage with Upasana on International Women's Day, and a round of applause for all the women in the room here today. Fantastic turnout. And thank you, TiE Delhi and TiEcon, for giving us this platform. So a little bit about Startup Steroid. It's a platform which is redefining the deal flow management, investor engagement, and deal syndication. Currently, angel investment process is pretty broken with various multitudes of tools. You have Dropboxes, you have emails, you have LinkedIn reached in, and things are just not the way things should be. As investors, we are investing in high tech, deep tech, but we are still using tools of 19th century to actually make the deals. Startup Steroid comes and solves that problems for you. Right from a white label deal sourcing platform to customized startup screening, to multi-channel communication with your founders, pitching, rating, getting audience involvement, creating a secure data room, getting analytics about the deal. Once you are ready to invest, creating a special purpose vehicle or managing a fund on the platform, Startup Steroid does it all. And not only that, you are able to track your portfolio and get quarterly updates right from the platform. So that's the only platform right now in the world which has integrated end-to-end deal flow management. It can be white labeled. A lot of TiE chapters in North America are already using it. We have over 2,000 investors on platform, and it's rapidly growing. It's also great for the startups in the room to be able to come and just create a profile on a platform which is totally free. And with that, they are able to just use a unique link to share it with any investors worldwide. You don't have to create pitch deck twice, send emails, and try and track if somebody has really opened it or not. The platform does it all at no cost, really, for the founders. The demo day platform is another extension where we just saw the pitches right here, the tie the knot rapid round. What our app enables you to do is all the audience in the room would be able to just scan a QR code and be able to participate and provide feedback, provide their interest level and things like that. So that's a very important piece which is generally missing in a lot of demo days and pitch days, which we are able to address. Finally, the deal syndication on SPV Hub. A lot of times the investors want to invest small amounts, but they are not able to do it because the founders won't take a small check. The SPV part solves that problem. Special purpose vehicle, it's not a fund, it's just a special purpose vehicle. 10 or 15 investors come together. We create the SPV for them. We do all the legal, accounting, all the compliance work, and the investors are able to track their portfolio again through our smartphone app. Again, the only platform which has a native smartphone app both on Android and on iPhone. Deal flow is in your pocket. You can, in 5 minutes, literally look at a deal, sign the documents, wire the money, and be a part of the cap table of the startup you want to invest in, and then track the portfolio, also event calendar, and a lot more. With that, I would like to thank you all for listening. Thank you, Upasana, for joining me here. And thank you, TiE Delhi, for giving us this opportunity. We won't hold you back from your drinks. So after a small presentation, I think, we are off to cocktails. We'll be here for next full day. So please come and ask us any questions, any queries you might have. Thank you, and have a great evening, great night.
Thank you to both of you. A very unique way of holding audience and the pitch. But I'll request you to stay on with us. A small token of appreciation that we would like to offer to our guests. I would request Geetika to offer that token of appreciation, please. Thank you so much. And now it's time for me to hand over the proceedings to Geetika. We started the day by saying that the theme of this year's session, these proceedings, is the new Bharat. So how can you really celebrate the new Bharat? I would like to hand it over now to Geetika Dayal, Executive Director, TiE Delhi-NCR.
Thank you, Ridhima. You've been just awesome through the day. We've come to a very special part which is really close to my heart. I had a recent visit to Puri and went to Odisha, Bhubaneswar, and I got a chance to witness something that really affected me deeply. This is going to be a classical rendition of the Gotipua dance. Gotipuas are typically boys of tender age who dress up as girls and perform devotional songs, Vaishnav love songs of Radha Krishna. All the Odissi gurus that you see today have somewhere or the other started their journey with this. Most of the eminent gurus have gone through it. It was earlier performed throughout the night on festivals and special occasions. It's a privilege to commission the Gotipua dance on festivals to celebrate. What better way to showcase this beautiful art form and preserve the tradition as well as celebrate it on the occasion of International Women's Day as a tribute to all the women here. A special thanks to the Dasabhuj Gotipua Odissi Nritya Parishad for performing today. I would request all of you to openly and generously contribute and support this Gurukul, which is doing this noble cause throughout the year to support young children. They have joined us from the heritage village of Raghurajpur, Puri in Orissa. I would like to thank Balram Prusti, who is the artist of the beautiful Patchitra paintings, which you will see displayed in Darbar Hall as well. You must visit that also. Our gratitude to Bhattakrishnan Das, who's the group leader, for nurturing this talent. And a special welcome and thank you to the dancers, Jyoti Ranjan Das, Laba Marandi, and Kusa Marandi. My deepest gratitude to them, and please enjoy.
takta ham ta 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 tham thei ta kar takta ham ta ta takta ham ta 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 tham thei ta kar takta ham ta 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 tham thei ta kar takta ham ta 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 takta ham ta 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 tham thei ta kar takta ham ta 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 tham thei ta kar takta ham ta 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 tham thei ta kar takta ham ta 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 takta